and also do Q&A. But yeah, I wanted to share what's going on. I love people to know what's going on in different parts of the world as well, not just friggin' here. And and like you said, your wife's knowing what's going on, but it's you can't miss it now, what's going on in Canada. But the funny thing is, Trudeau, our prime minister, I should say this, but apparently he's been under quarantine for 5 days because someone he was around was positive for COVID, but he's not. But he's, very
probably hiding.
Coincidentally, I got to isolate for 5 days. So yeah, that's been huge on the news. It's been hilarious.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah, it's cool to see people are finally starting to figure it out and stand up for themselves, because I don't know if I talked to you about it before, it was on my channel, I don't know, but basically that we got to figure this out and take action and stop if we want it to stop. It's not just going to go away on its own. So
it's up to us now. Yeah,
it's good to see that people are getting the message.
It is. There's a hilarious meme going out there. It's all the big bigs of the world, the elite and all that crap, sitting around a board game, almost looks like Monopoly, and there's all people under the table bent over as if they're holding the board game up. And the phrase is, people just have to stand up, and it's going to throw the board game, out in the air, and the game's going to be done. Right. And that's very literal right now.
It is.
Cold shivers just as I say that. We are at that place where, this is why I want to chat. Let's do some Q&A. I'd love to get in and a bit more deeper, because find out. Well, I have not done any new intel except regular healing meditation and regular messages and stuff, more I don't know. Sometimes we might not even get more detailed information. You know that we seek, we ask, we see what's gonna come through.
Sure.
But I think this, we are at and I kind of getting confirmation. Are we in those days now? Are we in those times now? There's no going back. It's it started. How quick is this gonna be? But I know we might not even get these answers. But I was just.
Well, I have some of them. I know one of them anyway. I know the last answer.
You start
the last answer is it goes as quick. The last answer is it goes as quick as we go. So as fast as we wake people up, that's how fast it goes, from what I've channeled. So it's kind of a little bit of a load on us to not just you and I individually, but the light workers in general who are awake right now. It's as fast as we can wake people up is as fast as it goes. And it seems like it's speeding up. I mean, the snowball effect, like you said, you have 43 miles plus of truckers and everybody else pissed off and figuring it out. And
but they're beautiful. There's no they're taking action, and it's showing love and compassion all across Canada.
Absolutely.
And it's
beautiful.
Whatever they can't try and say anything negative. They can't, because it's all compassion and love, people caring for each other, feeding each other, helping each other out. And that's what we need in our world anyway. So guess what? It's happening already. So we're doing what we need to do. We're doing it. It's happening now. We're taking care of one another.
And I totally agree. It's about time. And I think the fracture in society is starting to shift from fighting each other to everybody starting to figure out that it's the people in charge who need to go. And that's a very fresh feeling, because it's nice that people are figuring out who the enemy is finally, instead of fighting each other and all these other ways that they've figured out to divide us. And people have fallen for those traps. So it's nice that people are starting to understand that it's them and not each other.
Yeah, it's I know. And there's people. One thing I've learned, people will awake when they're ready to awake, but we just but we can plant our seeds and hope they grow with lots of water.
Yeah, I'm curious about the first couple of questions though, because I feel like you said, I don't know, I feel like there was this quick moment over the summer where everybody kind of got this jolt of, hey, we got to take action, let's get started here, at least the light workers, whatever. And then it seems like, at least this is me personally and just my observation, but around Halloween, maybe a little bit after, things just really slowed down. And it was sort of a time for respite and kind of people to figure out themselves and process all the information that had just kind of come through over the past few months. And then now it's starting to kick back into gear, and things are going to start flowing pretty quickly. It feels like you said.
Yes, it's and I even that urge in me to get that meditation out, feel healing down the road. It was and even to call you, it's all these things are coming to me with an urgency. It's Okay, I'm listening. Okay, I'll text. I'll call. Okay, I'll call Joe. Okay, I'll get on that. I will. I promise tomorrow. Okay. And so here we are. It's like I've had
Yeah.
this urge. Like, okay, I call him. I promise. I will.
Yeah, and it's funny. Yeah, me and a buddy of mine, we've been meeting every Saturday, getting coffee and kind of figuring out like how we're going to do the schools of the future, and how we kind of, we're trying to figure out, we're trying to reverse engineer it, figure out the society that we want to create, and then how do we create the people to create that society that's self-sustaining, and the society that we're working towards, but trying to figure out what that society is first. And then because I think it's, the one thing that I think we've kind of figured out is, if everybody understood why they were here on a soul level, and understood the purpose of Earth and all these other nuances,
Yeah.
I would have to think that it would change so much so quickly, and put so much more of a responsibility on people, instead of them just feeling like they're floundering through nothing, and this is all nothingness, and it doesn't mean anything anyway, so who
Exactly.
cares?
You're wasting your time. Yeah.
So if
Or
there's a
that
sense of,
they think they're owed something.
right, yeah,
Like
or
advice.
I didn't choose to be here, like, well,
Apparently you did. Yeah.
what if I told you you did?
Yeah. But it's interesting, the people, like even in my circle now, like the newly healed, the new healers that are coming into my life, they're wide awake, and they have there's many visions, which is fantastic. Like just one of them yesterday is like, she wants to get into getting seeds and help people learn how to plant in their own backyard. Like this is like, she's getting this. So she's just in the starting phase of it. So I'm going to help her, encourage her to move down that road as well. But the visionaries are coming, and just like, I'm still waiting to see about these devices coming out, like, because that was channeled like a year ago, like, okay, these devices are coming out, it's going to help heal, help this and that, and so many things. But it can go either way. It can be positive devices or not so helpful devices for like humanity, which we take over humanity. These robots, AI, I don't, that stuff is like, no matter, even though this is funny, what I keep thinking though, even if this AI starts to come up, it's going to have to be dismantled anyways. That's what I keep thinking, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the way that
And if so, how
I've never
quickly?
channeled about it, but just my, people talking about it. You've heard Elon Musk talk about how dangerous AI is, and if anybody, he's
Like
the one
Greg,
who makes
right?
money off of it. So
Yeah,
if he's saying it's dangerous, then it's probably somebody to listen to.
yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think that the future is definitely a melding of nature and technology, where they work together, and aren't, one isn't taking from the
Over
other,
the
or
other. Yeah,
that sort of thing. It has to be a what was the word that keeps coming? Reciprocity. There has to be like, where the give and the take, back and
back
forth,
and
where
forth.
it's, and I think that's important, kind of going back to how the natives, used to live, but incorporating the technology that we have, and being able to make our lives easier, but not destroying the earth in the way that, we have been. Well, I shouldn't say we, because, that's one thing. And I know that we play our part in the consumerism end, but a lot of the destruction and a lot of the things that have happened are due to like the mining industry and the timber industry and those certain particular industries. And I know that people benefit from those, so it's in a
We
way
know
our
that
fault,
there's
but
already reusable resources and high technologies that can do all that for us.
and
It's
they've
already
been
there. We
suppressed is the biggest
yes,
issue. And I am sure that every person on the planet, if they knew that there was a better way that was, and from what I've been told, a lot cheaper too. Like, have you
yes.
heard of this hempcrete, where it's like concrete made out of hemp?
I know hemp can do anything and everything. They
Yeah,
like
and it's
back in
supposed
the
to be
56
so
cars were
much
making that of
cheaper.
hemp. They were using it
Yeah.
for this and that. And yeah,
Right. And it's like fireproof, and it's supposed to, like, it's all these beautiful
yeah.
things, and it's like, and it can replenish itself so much faster than trees
When
can, and all these
cannabis
things. Like,
when the cannabis and marijuana revolution was coming out in the 50s, 60s, whenever it was, and then it
right.
was illegal apparently. This is when everything was
Wonder
banned.
why.
I remember something about Ford and hemp and cars and something like that. I can't remember the whole gist of it. I've got to go back and read it now. But
Mhm.
yeah, that like it was all out there. And of course, it can, marijuana, cannabis can help heal people. And now it's reusable resources. It's like, well, it was discontinued. Like, oh, we're going to discontinue that one for now, but we're going to use it in the
Discontinued nature.
background for our benefits and stuff, which is true. But
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I
Once
think,
they put it in a pill form, then it's all good, right?
yep. But I know even Greg Braden speaks about this, even whatever's coming up, like don't lose our humanity throughout this. Like we still have our humanity. Don't lose our humanity. So the AI, the changes or whatever, because, and I love how he's expressed it. We have the power within. And I've always, taught about mantras and healing and stuff, but the power is even more powerful than it's more like, I know it exists and I've witnessed manifestation stuff, but it's even more powerful than I could, like, I mean, I leave living this truth even more and more through another friend where she does herbs and mixtures and spells. And I always say, what do we do in school? We spell words. And so it reminds us all the incantations of what we speak brings forth true manifestation, because we did a money spell and an empowerment spell over the holidays. And I've never, and my business has been going steady, but since then I've had a call almost for something every day. And this has never been like this for me.
Well, you need to hook me up with that spell.
Yes. So yes. Well, we and Cynthia are hooking up together and we're going to be sharing more of this.
Awesome.
It is, I can't, like, I just want to scream from the mountaintops and the rooftops. Guys, this shit works. It's like, it does. And I'm just so excited about it. So I know I can see my direction moving forward and expanding even more with that. I'm just like, whoa, I'm grabbing onto this because it's happening quickly, I think, which is great because the energies that we've come from have been more unsettling, and even for me, just, up and down, shifting up and down, but just finding this and following where that energy is leading has been boom.
Yeah. I got a pretty empowering, personally empowering message. I think it was like a month or two ago from Jesus, actually. And then I got it kind of reconfirmed when I went and had my channeling session. Was it 2 weeks ago? And it was just, the first message I got, the first time I ever met Jesus, he gave me the message of lead from the heart. And I kind of knew what it meant, I guess. And so the second time he came through, I'm like, all right, you got to explain this to me a little better, because I kind of get it, but I don't fully get it. And so he was like, well, what does the heart do? And I was like, it pumps the blood for the body. And it was like, and what does it get out of it? And I'm like, I guess it gets to survive. I don't know. It does its job. And it's like, exactly. It gets nothing out of it. It does it because that's what it needs to do. And it's like, that's what your mission is. It doesn't matter what you get out of it. It doesn't matter any of the material gain or monetary gain. You have a mission you came here to do the mission.
Wow.
And it was just like, man,
well, I can
all tingly now, like,
yes, I can fill in I can fill in all of the blanks of what the heart does. Like, that the heart, like, and that's what a lot of Greg Bragg teaches, the heart brain coherence, how our heart leads us in every way. It has neurites in it. It leads us more than our brain does. Our heart is what we have to go in and sense, feel, and trust that, and let it, that, doing breathing exercise to help us feel safe within ourselves. And our heart can help us do that, but it can be our true leader within ourselves as well, a true guidepost or true compass. Our heart is when I think of sensory neurites, okay, now me being a nurse, like electrical signals, boom, boom, boom. But now it's way different. Like when I'm like the learning about our bodies and our energy, everything is just booming, like as energy firing. And just imagine that the energy, electricity in our bodies, in our heart, that's the power that we have. And it's it's hard to put into words sometimes, the energy and the power within our body and our heart and our field around our electromagnetic field around our body. How far it resonates out, how the heart goes out further and further, and how we can feel each other through these forces.
Yeah. And I know, it's amazing how that's what I was learning about too, and how that toroidal field or whatever they called it, how much bigger it is when you're from the heart and all that.
And stuff. I'm meeting and energy. I'm even meeting more people who say they can move energy with their hands and then their mind. Their mind.
Like, that's what I want to move into. That's what I'm trying to learn about, because once I figured out I could do Reiki and stuff, it's like, well,
I know, but this is the next step for me. We're going to be practicing this because I believe it can be done. And this is like my mission in this lifetime. I'm going to be manifesting our true potential, highest potential.
That's exactly what I'm trying to. No wonder we're having this conversation. Because that's what me and my buddy that I said I've been meeting with on the week, because that's where it's kind of, for whatever reason, magic has just been popping up in my life way too often and way too coincidentally. And so I started reading this book of Solomon, the Lesser Keys, and some of the old books of Solomon to try to get to like the root of, where it came from and those sort of things. Learning about, well, this is interesting. So you do Reiki and stuff too, right?
Yep.
So have I told you about like how I just got more information about how it's different. So I probably haven't talked to you since then. But like, so when you do Reiki, is it just, you're just letting the energy flow through you? Do you see anything, or like, do you?
Yeah, I'm very intuitive when I do my Reiki. So yeah, like especially energy and emotions and situations come up when I'm going around the body, and we know that different organs represent different emotions in the body as well, and
Yeah.
experiences. And so I find when I go around the body, like stuff that recently comes up in the head, and then the left side, and then as I'm going around the body, get to the feet, usually child stuff comes up, and then as I go further past, life stuff comes up. That's just for me, is like intuitively going on, and then I'm just paying attention to feeling within chakras, or is like how it, like just the different like mental, physical bodies around the body. And I might not always know, but I just trust. I trust that my hand is going to be guided to where it needs to go and what shows up, and then setting intentions on different chakras and such. It depends on what I'm working at that time.
That's interesting, because yeah, I'm starting to learn everybody's kind of got their, like some people are just totally channels where it's just the energy flowing through, and
Yep.
then like that's what I've been told is the next step, is that because I get the images in my head of, I mean, it's always, sometimes I see these incredible battles that are, it's crazy, I'll have to tell you. But I also have seen some childhood stuff. I've seen, sometimes I just see the energy. Sometimes I see the dark spots within the energy or
Yes.
stuff like
Like
that.
darker energy in the knee area. Like, yeah, that
Yeah. And
stuff like
then
that comes
I'll
up.
see whenever, so I shake real bad, like when the energy comes through, because this was part of me figuring it all out, because like the lady who I was doing it with, she was like, you shouldn't shake. You're supposed to just be, your energy isn't supposed to be involved, whatever. And so we channeled about it, and they had told me a long time ago that I'm an amplifier of energy.
Yeah, I
So
remember that. Yeah.
that's why, so when it comes through, I'm amplifying. That's why I shake real bad when it comes through. And then so over these past couple of months, I've been kind of learning through different sessions and stuff of what happens when I go into with my focused intent. Like I opened up my dog's chakras, I opened up my wife's chakras the other day. And then going in with that intent, and how much more, the energy, I can feel it coming through when I'm focusing and like having that intent on doing something. Then I got the message of sending love through.
Yeah.
And oh my God, like that was like a
That's
supercharge. Like I was
that's
all over the place
crazy.
shaking. And so they said basically the ultimate, healing to go through is when you can focus that love energy.
That,
So have
yeah.
that love focus through to wherever you're. So that they said that was kind of the distinction between the Reiki. They said basically Reiki is, you're just the open channel, the energy flows through you wherever it's supposed to go, and people get what they need to get out of it. And then I guess you're on this next step too, of that healing, of where we have that focused intention of being able to see what's wrong and send that energy where it needs to go. And then I don't know if you amplify as well, but that's kind of I guess where this is all kind of heading. So
My experiences now, I just have, before I continue, is there a rocking chair behind you on this side?
yeah, my dog's probably sitting there.
Okay, these are dog cats. It's like it's moving. Okay, I'm gonna have to tell
No,
Joe
that's
it's
not
moving. It's your
apparitions.
dog. Okay,
He's probably
that's hilarious.
he's sitting there.
But we're good. It's the dog. But yeah,
Yeah.
no, even with the last couple of years meeting a new energy healer, Danessa, um, experiencing the Palladian healing circle we do once a month. That's high intent. That's high intention, high dimensional healing coming in, and it's all with the power of the mind, setting intentions for healing with energy, intentions, mantras, toning. It's all that's like, and that's all done with Reiki as well. And then I started learning the seating healings, and then I got to I learned it, but it's more intense than Reiki, and it's a lot more to remember. So I want to go back and almost take it again. So I can actually start practicing it more, and then really starting to do those healings, because that's Yeah, that's amazing. One day we'll talk more about that too.
Yeah, I'm
But
interested in that.
it's you have to come to Canada if you want to do that though.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah, Danessa, my teacher actually went to France to learn through her teachers, Lisa and Hank, in
Oh,
because they channeled the Palladians, the Dolphins, Jesus, and they channeled everything that came through. They channeled. Actually, I'll send you their website.
yeah.
Everything came through the channelings and everything that does. There's so many channelings going on and something new coming up. And like once again, many light workers and channelers have brought through information and dates over the many years, and dates come and dates go, and it's like nothing really happened on that date. But the next date that's spoken of is February 8th and 9th, and they put it on their website where the words are the transformation is happening on February 8th and 9th. So with that being said, that's like, okay, that's coming up close. I said we got to get some, let's sit down with Joe and do some intel. We got to see what's coming up.
Well, one thing I channeled about timeline, well, maybe I didn't channel, maybe it was somebody else channeling. I could be conflating them. I think it was somebody else who channeled. Anyways, so they were basically explaining how our individual timeline affects the collective conscious timeline, right? How we all have our part in that.
Yeah.
So prior to the internet, it was much easier to predict timelines, right? Because there obviously wasn't so much information spread to so many different people that so many different people could get so many different. So it was much easier to control the possible outcomes because there was much less possible outcomes based on you could control the information, easier. So once the internet came, then now they said predicting the future is, it went from, I'm sure, 1 in a million to probably 1 in like 10 billion, something like that, to where the odds of getting. And so from what I understand is it's not that these predictions are wrong. It's just that we're not hitting those timelines that those predictions were made for, essentially.
Made from. You're right.
Yeah.
Exactly. It goes both ways because this is what I hear all the time is that, we've jumped that timeline. That didn't happen because we're a collective consciousness. We're able to change into that different path. So that's the case of many things. Or we're just not, like, some people energetically pick up more things than others where things come through. Like for me, like the December 21st, both times last year and this year, both were like, I felt more intense energies coming in. But it's been like more steadier for me since this winter solstice as well. Like that, I think things are more active and quicker since then for me. So
interesting.
I think that's.
So I wonder about that, and maybe I'm just theorizing because you're saying this now, and it kind of came to me. So maybe what you think. So energetically, if we have, let's just put it on a number scale to keep it simple. If we're going in increments of 5, let's just say upgrades, is it each one of these portals or energy, like you said, the 21st, and I know the 222 and all these other portals that supposedly open, are these energies coming through and say upgrading us from 5 to 10 to 10 to 15 and so on and so forth, and each person maybe you're on 15 and I'm on 10, and we're jumping around and getting these different feeling, because I feel like, go ahead.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was slowly coming, but go ahead. We can say you're feeling what?
Well, I was just going to say, because I feel like there was a huge shift this past summer that I started to feel everything. Like I could feel crystals from across the room and stuff. Like it was crazy. But I don't know that I either adjusted to that and now I don't notice it as much because it's kind of like the honeymoon of whatever effect
acclimate to our surroundings. Yeah,
right. So I don't know if I did that and so I'm not really feeling, because there was times where I'd feel the energies like crazy, or sometimes I'm like, man, there must be something going on today. But lately, ever since I got that huge, I would call it a huge upgrade anyway, I haven't really noticed any of the things that people talk about with the upgrades going on.
I just think more activity and action is just all around me. That's what I feel. Like things are moving. Like I'm not lying back. Oh man, this darn boring COVID summer. Like I'm not like that. It's like, oh man, there's a lot going on. I got a lot to do. Holy shit, I got to get going.
Oh, okay. Like, okay, then yeah, I do feel that.
The energy so much, and they're like, so I had my contemplation.
Well, because sometimes I literally would feel that vibrating, like where I'm feeling that, like, oh man, something is, or sometimes like there was the one day we were going out to eat, my wife and I was walking into the restaurant, and I felt like I was about ready to black out. Like I was so shaky, and I was like, what's going on here? And they're like, you asked for upgrades. I was like, all
And
right, as
also we
long as I'm
cannot,
good.
it's the energy of, I'll get back to upgrade, don't let me forget. But I think
Yeah.
the energies of being around other people, I can't be in large groups sometimes. My daughter
We
actually
weren't even
can't go to
inside.
Best.
This was outside walking in, and I just felt like
There's
it was
so much energy of other people around, and
it's
that's,
out.
I think, is an empath and light work where we feel that. My
Mm,
daughter can't go into Best Buy, she feels nauseated, she can't
really?
be around, she go, last time we were in a crystal shop, she goes, I have to get out, I'm feeling all nauseated, this is gross. And like, but it was just so many, like it was a huge crystal shop, I was okay. I
Yeah.
know I probably felt it mildly,
Mhm.
but it was like huge for her, so that is just a lot of intense energy.
Do you
um
use like shielding and stuff when you go in public? Like, do
I
you?
do. I don't. I probably got to do it more now. And I had probably the last couple months. My intention has been stronger to do it because it's been so much going on. And remembering to do that, it's important. Because
Yeah.
you don't want to take on everybody's energy. It's tough. It's hard. Like I
Oh,
can be talking with
yeah.
someone and feel like whatever's going on, I felt more tireder and lightheaded and dizzy and fatigued. Um, the last few months as well with everything going on. So I've had to be very mindful of my energy, more resting, more hot Epsom salt baths. You're trying to eat better as well, and always trying to do that. Some days it's very good, but not others days. So it's always being mindful of how we're treating our bodies to allow these energy shifts to come in. A lot of people, I know we've had this discussion before. Um, are we going vegan, or what are we doing with our bodies? Are we making it lighter to let the light energies come in? And I know you said you can eat anything. And funny thing, something came in just yesterday for a reading for a lady, and the message was, I was seeing her as the energy of Mother Mary and Princess Leia together. And she had, the message was, I saw, giant champagne cups, they're called flutes,
Mm.
but the word flute itself means something. Flute is something that blows air through, and it's a piece of wood that breath of life goes through. But
Oh,
in these flutes, they were actually like, the message was Kahlua, Irish cream, Bailey's drinks, but they were these like 5 or 6 flutes, and she had them in her hand. And the energy, the message was, she was blessing with these flutes in the air, blessing it, and you could see the energy streaks really beautifully going across. And what was behind it was the universe, the never-ending universe behind it. So the message was, bless everything, bless everything. Like that's what, so she took that, okay, I'm bless everything you do, you eat, you take. That's the message there. That because she's like, I still want my treats, I still want my chocolate. So, and that came through, bless everything. So we have
yeah.
to take everything and bless it. That was, I love that message too, for me, even a reminder for me. Because the
Because
power of intention is so friggin' strong. But back to the energy and quickening and how the different upgrades, I think what I've learned this year, the understanding of numerology and astrology more. Like I've loved it. Like it's cool. Like this, like I don't take it that far. Oh, Taurus, I'm a bull, whatever. But learning actually that we have our sun, where the planets are, this is where the energy is going across and through, especially when we were born, how that affected us and our energy and the people around us in this lifetime, to where are they right now? What's aligning right now? What is open? What's being blocked? What energies are affecting us now? And to take advantage, I guess, of, okay, the moon is in the house of this, Saturn and Jupiter, whatever, because I don't memorize all that stuff. But if it's open and wide, and this is great for prosperity and work, that's a great time to work hard, look for a job or whatever. But then this is like, oh, we're Mercury grade again. Oh, maybe we better settle down and stay inside for a few weeks and take it easy. So those things I pay much more attention to now. I'm understanding. So when it comes to energy shifts and what's coming at the winter solstice, the summer solstice, maybe like I've just really paid attention to it the last year, and I've truly felt big shifts then. So I believe that's, the openings are there. We're ready to receive. And that's where, how much we're actually, I think, focusing and ready to receive. Mind you, some people probably are, and I've heard this too, people are going to receive, some people aren't as open yet, but they're subconsciously, they're doing these downloads. So when there comes a time to be fully awakened, they're going to have those light codes in them. I believe that too.
I met a guy who, when you're saying that, it sounds like that's what happened to him, because he said all of a sudden, like it was like overnight, he just knew everything all of a sudden. Like it was just all of these things just clicked and was open for him. And I was like, oh, that'd be interesting to have it done like that. Mine was I think mine was kind of a jump each time, kind of
Yes,
going up a mountain. But
I know. I was like just slow and steady, slow and steady.
yeah.
But this last year's been just more expansive and quicker. That's for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah. This last year has been an insane. I think my first jump was real big because it was like, if anything that I, had the word spiritual or anything attached to it, I was researching and watching anything I could get a hold of and
Yep.
whatever. And then it kind of, you get used to it and it wears off and you do your meditations and that sort of thing. And then it was probably a good 3-4 years. And then all of a sudden this happens and stuff, and it's like, man, it was always, like you said, steadily kind of but then those two jumps were just enormously, where it was like, oh man, I think I just progressed like since July. I feel like I've progressed, more than I have in my entire life before that combined, probably.
Yep. And I think if we can, like I said, the innate just feeling like I gotta set that meditation. I gotta call Joe. Like it wasn't like I could not do it. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, I'll pick up my phone now. I'm doing it because I was like I had to. And even like now, I think that there's a quickening, that's for sure, a quickening of something inside. It's like, I can't ignore this, and I'm not. So here we go. And I even my speech, it's like, okay, guys, I'm speaking, and they want me to speak quicker and quicker. So as if I can't get the information out quick enough. It's like, okay, guys, I'm here.
So I want to ask you that too, because in July, when I first started channeling, there was this like urgency that was in the message. Like, we got to go book, we got to get this book done, we got to get this channel, the YouTube, blah, 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 blah. No problem, did it all. But then it was like, okay, I did all this stuff. What did we do it all for? Because I mean, it's not like it's not making any impact. I understand that. And I know that's part of the reason why I've gotten the messages lately of it doesn't matter the outcomes or whatever. It's just,
and you are making an impact, and I can tell you in a minute, but yes.
But just out of the curiosity of like, was it just the urgency to make sure I did it quickly? Or because I felt like it was like the earth is changing so quickly, I have to make sure I get this stuff done before, so that, and I'm sure that my thinking compared to their thinking is totally different. So, I understand
I get the
that
exact
as well.
same feeling, like there's something happening, and it's like, I can't deny, like, even though we hold back a little bit and we resist a bit, it's like, no, I don't resist, because that little, it's like, well, it can't be happening now. Really, on earth, is it happening now? It can't be happening. But no,
Yeah,
yes,
right.
it is. So
Yeah.
I think not resisting it, I'm getting cold shivers now, is bringing forth the evolutionary changes needed quicker, because we're not
Okay.
resisting.
That
So,
makes sense.
there's cold shivers all over again. So there we go.
Yeah.
We just answered our
Where's your
question
verification?
today, Joe. That we need to stop the resistance of these thoughts, processes, ideas, and just follow, just like I've done this week. This is the new way to go. This is the new way to go.
So I think if I'm kind of getting it now, is like that whole phase was just kind of the building the trust and them us understanding, and then now it's like, all right, you get the message, go act, go do.
Because there's so much more to happen and go now, and it's like, and this, once again, it's taking the resistance away, witnessing what's going across Canada now. Hang on, I'm writing something down. Like holy crap, I live, because I see energies all over the world, Australia, the States, but I live in Canada. Look at their convoy. This is happening in the country I live in. Oh my God, it has arrived. It is here. And and on time. So that was huge for me this week. There's cold shivers all over again. Like, it's here. It's arrived on your doorstep, Melissa. There's no more resisting or trying to think, it's not happening yet. You got time. We are in it now. So it's like, okay, I got the message. And the message back to you about the fact that you said you were wondering, is this making a difference? What's going on? And you are, because I'm like, your energy is like, it's melding with my energy. Like, I just like, it's you're like, to me, you're making an impact. And I feel that. But the message I got is and I believe this is for all of us light workers. And it's, once again, something this week that clicked. And I don't know if it was a meditation or what I was doing, but in the meditation, I saw myself, and there was this vortex portal of energy within the universe. And I saw this ball of light that represented my energy. And it's showing me it's reverberating, it's getting through to other universes. And it's like something, it finally clicked. And I actually believe, like, holy shit, my energy affects the universe. But all of us does, all of it does. And it's like, it clicked. It's like, oh shit, then I gotta friggin' get on this shit now. And that's like,
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yep. So that was huge for me this whole last week just seeing that energy. It's like it's the message being received it's reverberating through the universe.
That's beautiful. Yeah, and
Especially
I've kind of gotten similar messages too, but it's, and that was part of the, message for me too, though, is to stop expecting or having expectations, of outcomes, because, whatever we may think is supposed to happen, or, and then obviously that gets conflated with what we want to happen,
exactly.
and so
Yeah,
we
no
need to just
expectations.
be concerned with doing the job because the job needs done, and that's all we need out of it is we
Yeah.
came here to do a job, do the job. And so it was like, all right, got it, let's do it.
Yeah. I
So
know, it's like, and to me, like this are the great things that come through our work together, meeting you and working the feelings, energy, moving us forward. Like to me, 2 years ago, I would never expected this. I'd be doing this. No way, Jose. Like right before COVID, I was in a total different place in my life. I was like just starting with St. Elizabeth Home Care, didn't want to do it, and then COVID came and I stopped doing it, and then I expanded my business. It's like great. So it's like, yeah.
well, that's what's interesting too, is so many of us, I feel like, have kind of been forced to take that next step in our lives through COVID or however else,
And
it's
I
shown
believe
itself
this is
by
divinely
design.
planned with
Yeah, I do
on
too.
earth. Yeah.
Well, and that's what they kind of, what I channeled about COVID before, and they said that, they knew what was going on and they're opportunists, so they took advantage of the opportunity. So you could have either sat at home and stayed in fear, or do what a lot of us did, and figured some things out, came to some conclusions, did some more research, and found yourself a little more, and that was the intent, that they got through to a lot of people through that. So
Yeah. And here we are,
pretty
my
cool.
dear.
And
And
here we are.
and
So
here
what
we are.
questions we got?
Yeah,
I
I'd
don't
like,
know.
I'm gonna get rid of my gum because I'm done with it.
I'm
Um,
excited to.
um,
So is there like a delay? Because I don't want to, I felt like last time you did it, I didn't want to cut them off, because I want to, and I know it's probably not the delay on the video, but I know
hang
they
on.
sometimes speak a little bit delayed. Um, so I'll try not to cut
What?
off or anything.
No, I think this is what I love how Peter Dennis does this. Because first of all, are you going to be speaking with Peter later at 2? I will be. Are you speaking with him at 2?
I didn't know anything about it.
It's
No,
it's
I'm
it's part
not.
of he's got the channeling group. Their Zoom meetings.
Like I said, I've been so checked out.
Okay. Well, if
My
you
face
want,
has
I
been
can
buried in
send you
my
the
computer.
email from Peter for the Zoom link. He's doing
Okay.
it twice a week. One is Tuesday nights, but I have my classes, and then the other one is Sundays.
I'm supposed to go meet a friend in a little bit,
Okay.
so I
Well,
might.
okay, that's too funny. Well, yeah,
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 I didn't
that's
know
what's
anything
happening.
about that.
But I
I don't
remember
even, I don't know Peter, just so you know. I've never met him. He emailed me randomly one day out of the blue to
really.
take over that group. I have never talked to him before in my life other than an email.
He calls me that day and he goes, Melissa, I just want to let you know. I was thinking of asking you to be admitted to the group, but I see you're really, really busy. So I've asked Joe. I said, okay, that's okay. Thank you. I said, but thank you very much for thinking of me. I appreciate it. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's too.
I've never, he just randomly emailed me one day, and I meditated on it, and they were like, yeah, go for it. It's a good
Did you
opportunity.
ever you never did channeling with Peter?
No, I never even knew. I mean, I joined the group, so I knew his name, but that was
Oh
about
my
it.
God. See, you never know what blessings are like, and it's gonna just like be dropped in front of your doorstep. Hello.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I got an email one day and I'm like, should I do? And I got an email from a few different people randomly, like right at the same time, about taking over different things. Someone wanted me to take over some meditation thing. And I was like, man, I'll have to think. I've never done a meditate, like a group meditate. I've never done anything like that. Not that I'm opposed to it, but I don't want to lead people in the wrong direction either. I don't necessarily know what I'm doing, so I'm kind of,
Once
actually,
again,
now that I think about it, I don't know if I ever got back to that person. So I feel bad about that.
but once
I feel
again,
like,
if you once you really trust what comes through, for me, that once again, letting go of resistance.
yeah.
I want to share meditation. I want to share chakra balancing and chakra opening, and that's how we can open up to your own intuition awareness. I'm just guided and led, and I follow and I trust because it feels good, and people are opening up really quickly now. So I guess I'm doing the right thing. So and even the messages that come through, like we set intentions, like we're gonna do it today, but we set intentions, and like that, the meditation I sent out, healing down the road. It was beautiful. Old cold shivers again. So I was like so led to just get that out there so quickly, and I did. It's what needs to be get out there and be heard at the time. And if I'm the one, if that's the one thing I'm going to do to bring healing across Canada, then that's what I'm going to do.
Absolutely.
I'm not going out.
Have you ever heard of the buildings? I don't know, I've talked about them a couple times in my videos and stuff, but have you ever channeled anything about the buildings?
No, what's the buildings?
So there's these buildings from Atlantean times. There are these big dome shaped
Okay.
buildings they'll be for, from what I understand, I'm starting to gather more now as I'm meeting with this guy, is that's going to be like the schools of the future essentially, but it's not going to be in the same, it'll be in a school in the sense of education or enlightenment, I think would be a
Yes,
better
that's
way
what I
of,
want to say. Yeah.
but it'll be for healing. There'll be, obviously different sound therapies, chakra healings, that sort of thing, yoga, meditations, plant medicine ceremonies, obviously the enlightenment, like I said, having open discussions and those sort of things, like philosophy, like those old schools of philosophy sort of vibe to it. But then each room, so it's shaped like a big giant dome. There's a big crystal in the middle. The dome is glass. The sun can charge it and the moon can charge it and all
You're
that
just
stuff.
describing exactly what Cynthia has been talking about. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And in the middle of the
there's
forest. Oh
huh?
my, in the middle of
Yeah.
a forest or not?
Oh, they're going to be all over the
Yeah,
world.
she described just what you described. Oh my, she describes it, the little huts of healing, but she goes, how the Ewoks have little huts? That's how she described it. But
Yeah.
oh my God, I got to tell her this stuff.
Yeah. And on around the main building, there's a pod. So the whole thing kind of looks like an open lotus flower. And then the pods around the outside are each color of the chakra, and they each do their own different type of healing or whatever in those rooms. Under the building, there'll be water that runs so that it resonates. The whole building will be made from sacred geometry, and then the resonation of the sound will reverberate throughout the building. And
oh my God, I can't wait. I want that like now. I can't wait.
I do too.
Walk into these, then we'd all be fine. We'd all be better. But because we all need this kind of healing. And it's funny, years ago, I had visions of crystal buildings for plating healings, like I see purple and I see like pinks and stuff like that. That's what I see.
Yeah.
So that's what I got messages years ago. And then like once again, we did no expectations. I mean, I had a resonance with the Palladians years ago.
Oh wow.
I started channeling, and all of a sudden I'm in a Palladian healing circle. Like, who would have known, like 5 years ago, like,
Right.
So it's
every day it seems like some new door opens or
It's
something, especially if you're
awesome.
open to it, or follow the signs, so to speak.
Yeah,
or whatever.
the courage to step forward. That's the message that comes through.
Yeah.
Now back to certain questions. I know Peter with this set intentions, we would ask the beings for 10 seconds between different concepts or processes. So
Okay.
I guess it's just, we're gonna go and find out, ask some questions, and then I know the beings can go on and on. Like, I've always been a channeler who, it's, once again, it's working with Peter that I learned the Q&As. I go in, I can channel, and they could keep going and going and going and going and going. But it's through Peter that I learned to rebuild a rapport where, look, we can go in, no one trusts that they're going to give us a 10-second delay in between each question, topic, whatever. So that's what we got to trust.
Cool.
I'm
excited. This is my favorite. Like, as cool as it is to be a channeler, I like being the interviewer.
I know, this is so much
I like
fun.
talking to them.
I haven't gotten intel so long for myself. It's like, it's time. Then we got to do this more often. I know we do.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, that's why I said I feel like this whole like Christmas time was like the respite. Everybody kind of regathering their thoughts and their energy and all that stuff, and now it's like full steam ahead to take over the world.
It is. It's like moving. I quite like they know what, but like, so if we want to specify questions, we can talk about one thing about these future buildings. I'm going to just write something down, just because I know we want timelines. They might not give us timelines, but I would love more timelines or information that we need to know about these things. I just want to know, of course, but they might not. Future buildings, timelines. And
I'll let my dog out real quick.
Sure. As I'm writing a few questions down and thinking.
Both of you go.
The future buildings. And this stuff has to get out there. We just got to keep doing this and getting this out, like
Absolutely.
so much. the buildings, timelines, also about devices. I still want to get more intel on that because like they started and then like
Are
only
you talking
had,
about med beds?
what's that?
Are you talking about med beds?
But we can, that's part of it.
Okay.
Med
'Cause
bed.
I didn't watch it. My wife was telling me, do you watch Sam the Illusionist?
No, but I'm gonna write his name down. Sam the Illusionist.
Yeah, I've had him on my show once and I've talked to him a couple of times.
Maybe.
But I guess he just channeled the other day that med beds weren't real. So I'm curious because I've heard from a few different people that they were. And so I don't know. That's why I get curious with these channeling sessions sometimes with who we're tapping into and whether we are always getting information that is
For highest and greatest good.
right.
Well, you know what though? I'm just gonna get my thing because I'll talk. Like I'll do something. I'll show you here. Hang on. I mean, for me, I've always felt positive and light energy, and I can move forward. If I move forward with it, I know it's good energy type thing. But I always do when I do my work. I do a cleansing prayer. We'll just do it for fun today. But I know like the Pleiadians, the Divine Realm, and other the Galactic Federation of Light, are just, they're always there with love and guidance around us, and it's just a matter of trusting and raising our vibration and keeping it elevated up. And
Well,
only
that's why,
now,
because when I go do my channeling sessions, it's in like, I don't want to call it, they call it a sacred space, I guess, but
yeah.
There's a very strict process of calling in, Jesus and Archangel Michael and all these different beings to do specific things. And so I don't know if, and I'm not saying you don't, I'm just questioning if other channelers are taking these same precautions when they bring through different information, or who.
I've always been encouraged to stay in the light and love. There's other beings who think that you can bring in energies and they can have sexual stuff with you. But to me, I was told when I first ever started my meditation, don't engage with that kind of energy. So I never have. So I don't invite it in. So
that's why, because I know he has like something that he does with drinking, love light water or whatever. And he has like a Bible and stuff. But I just question with, you never know if people are always taking the proper precautions before they channel, or they always.
But the funny thing is, when they say the Bible, though, is it going to be the Bible that Ethiopia owns, which is all the books,
with the more about the intent of what you believe about it than the actual Bible?
Okay. To me, then I have to have the Lost Book of Thomas, the Book of Enoch, the book of Enki, the all the Lost Book of that have been removed have the true knowledge in it. That's what I place my belief on. Of course, and the Christ white light. But to me, when I know that what I've learned about Ethiopia, and even the Quran, if I'm saying that right, in India, they have the most complete, I'll say, ancient texts, because I don't call it the Bible. To me, it's the ancient text is what the Bible is. What I grew up with, what they thought the Bible was, it's not. I was never religious growing up, so it's kind of good. So everything I've learned is I've got to read this and then take it in. It's like, oh, look, this is our history books. And who's that one? That's the Lost Book of Enki over there. Okay, yes. And our hearing our true origins and of the divineness and ET connections and all that stuff. That's, we all have this, once again, we all have this divine spark in us. And once again, I like to, with Greg Braden's teachings, it's like we were taught, go to church, and look out for help. Oh God, please help me with this. Please help my ailing mother. Oh, look, oh God, help me with this. They're always acting in lack, but know that we have this divine spark in us. So we go in with our heart, brain space and a coherence, with the feeling of love and gratitude. And in a space, we feel that we have that great job. We have that. Our mothers are healthy. We are healthy. We go into ourselves because we have this divineness, and that's the power of our manifestation. We are in direct control of our life, not some, we don't, once this stuff about manifesting and spells and talking what we want in our life, we got to remember this stuff, because we're every day, if you're waking up saying, I hate this life, then you're bringing forth a life you're going to hate. So we have to love our life and ask for what we want, because we have it within us. And once again, we know that the church, the Pope, and all those people in our past took this out of the Bible to make us and change the words saying that you need to look out for something, but no,
Right.
you feel like it's within you, then you can accomplish anything. And the phrase that Greg Braden uses from the Lost Book of Thomas is, the mountain will move. You ask, the mountain will move, the mountain will move. You want the mountain move, you feel it, it will move. You don't, it will, like you have the power to move a mountain. That's the analogy that he uses. So I just love that.
Yeah.
And that gives me the belief that, just as you and I were talking about this lifetime, how we want to learn how to move paper and this stuff. Well, I want to move mountains, damn it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
This is now the time that we are into this now, that belief is rising. Like, it's the feeling there. It's like, we can do anything. Like, okay, you're in this part of your time now, Melissa. This is going to happen.
I totally, I'm in the same headspace. So yeah, I'm excited because I feel the same way, where it's like, I feel this when I channeled and we asked what the soul was, and they said limitless potential energy.
Yeah.
And it's just like, man, how empowering is that? That
It
limitless potential energy.
In the book of, no, is it The Journey of Souls by Michael Newton? They talk about different places the soul goes to in between incarnations, and there's different worlds that this your soul goes to practice making rocks and trees and stuff. It's like that is like that's the essence of creation in itself.
That makes sense. I actually had an interesting thing came up the other day, because tell me if you've had dreams like these, but throughout my life, I've had dreams that I could breathe underwater.
Yeah.
And I've had dreams that I could levitate. And
I used to fly in my dreams when I was a kid. It was repetitive all the way over the specific forest. Yeah.
Well, apparently
And I wasn't scared in this dream, but
I'm
other dreams I
thinking,
would be scared, but not this one.
because they've said that, there's monks that can levitate, and apparently there's people that can breathe underwater. So I'm wondering, like, they've told me that these are kind of trainings that we go to do, like you said, in other realms or dimensions, whatever. But how do we bring that here?
Into
And
here.
actually, because it's
Let's-
interesting that I've had these
that's-
same,
We're going to ask
yeah.
that question. Ask
Yeah.
this question. Because I remember, and actually I should ask this too. When I was young, I don't know how young I was. I would always dream there was a swing set, but it was a shower of light color at the swing set, and it would turn on, and it would shine over me, and I would disappear. I would dream this, but I would never know where I went. But then all of a sudden, I remember I would just in my dream, I would just reappear again. Then, so I don't know. Maybe this is something more than just, yeah. So, but I only remembered disappearing, then coming back.
That's
So ask
super
this
interesting.
question about where we went, and also how is that relevant to my life now? Like, but I'm asking for a memory to be restored, that I can relate to that.
Yeah.
I want a memory to be restored, so it resonates with me, and I can feel that connection, and then know how this is going to take me into the future. So hear that, guys, that's what I want to know. I want detailed intel. So there's lots there. So of course we're recording this, so it's great, so we can share this out after. Okay, so I'm going to do my lovely prayer. I've got a couple that I do. My main one that I do every day, even if I'm having a stressful day, caught in traffic, or just need a moment to break, it's just like, Jesus Christ, white light of love, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, all my spirit guides and guardian angels of the purest white light. I know I'm safe, loved, and protected within all my endeavors, and for these blessings we give thanks, amen. That's what I've been saying probably 10 years. And it's when I get caught in anger, pissed off, whatever, it's just it's a catch. So I don't carry on that
I
thing.
could feel it whenever you said it. I could feel
because
it.
We can get stuck in a zone where we get angry in life. This happens. This no. Let's call this in. We need to.
That was my whole life before July.
Yeah. I just see myself in the car driving and cursing.
Oh yeah. Before I figured out what was happening and then how to not make it happen, it was, I'm a target, we're all targets. All the light workers are targets. So they've been fucking with me my whole life, and I just never knew or understood why. And
now I find if you're in situations that could cause more anger stuff to come up in us, I think we're being tested, and we need to keep our resolve.
Absolutely. I've noticed that myself, and I think I've been doing much better.
I've been in situations now where helping out a nephew and such, but I won't go into detail, and I've been tested a little bit. So but keeping positive and raising my vibration and hoping that energy, bringing forth the energy that will resonate through, and be in all across in my space.
And I think that's our, like I said, these past few months have been kind of putting on that armor, and then we're going out and getting these tests to make sure that we got the armor, we got the message, we got, we're putting it to good use. That because I feel like it's going to go, I think it's going to get a lot more intense in the future somehow. I don't know exactly how, but
feeling I'm just getting now with the energy you just said, it's not armor, it's having that feeling and knowing that our energy can be 40 feet in front of us and we're good, we got this.
Yeah.
And we can plow through anything. That's what I do. Like, it's not like, it's like we have this energy around us and we're boundless, just moving forward.
So one more thing that I'm curious about before we go into it. So one of the things that has come up throughout this book, a book of Solomon and stuff, and it's kind of made me think that this is where my healing, and maybe other people, maybe you too or others, the healing direction, because I had just always, I shouldn't say always, I've only known this for a couple months now.
But your soul's always known it. Yes.
I'm just thinking like energetically, like, oh, we're moving energy, we're going in, I see a dark spot, take care of it, blah, blah, blah. But I'm starting to get the feeling that it's going to be more than that. And I think that there is going to be like exorcisms to a degree being taking place.
Oh, I have no idea. I don't even know, but I haven't even gone there really.
Neither have I. And that's why, but through this book, the reason why I'm asking, because King Solomon's book, he has 72 demons which is interesting too, I'll go back to, but there's 72 demons that he supposedly has identified and whatever. Going through and reading about all these different demons, you start to realize not all of these, or not even very many of these, are actually malevolent energies or entities.
Yep.
Very few of them are actually malevolent. So I was like, well, what is the original meaning of demon then? So when I looked up the original etymology of the word demon, it just means supernatural being, which could be anything that isn't seen. So angels, demon, all of them would be considered the same thing. Jesus, anybody supernatural would be considered a demon as far as the original etymology of the word. Then the word has literally been demonized to mean evil spirits.
And Hollywood has done a great job at doing that, haven't they?
Right. So digging a little deeper, these 72 demons or whatever, there are an angel that is responsible for each one. So what I'm connecting the dots potentially is going back. Did I tell you about my battles that happen when I do my Reiki? So I'll just tell you about the most recent one. I won't go into too much detail for keep the person private, but so I see like an ocean of black, and then this like arm, it looks like almost like an octopus tentacle comes up, and it's just this big black tentacle. Then Archangel Michael comes out from the right, and then Jesus is over here. He's always like the general. He kind of just guides, tells what's going on. And then there was another angel here who I'm not sure specifically who they were. But anyways, so this tentacle comes up, and Archangel Michael comes over and he cuts like the top of it off, like part of the arm. And then I hear Jesus tell me, make a light weapon. And I'm like, how do I do it?
What the heck? What do you say?
Yeah, I'm like, okay.
Like, Jedi Knight, lightsaber. That's like.
So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna make this like bazooka thing that shoots out a light, whatever. So I do that, and it shoots out, and it hits the rest of this tentacle that's coming out. And as it hits it, it turns it into light.
Yeah.
And so I'm like,
oh my God,
they're explaining to me how the battle between light and dark works, and how it's this basically turning on and off of the lights, and neither one of them ever actually wins. It's just a matter of one, now it's light, now it's dark, now it's light, so it's this ever, back and forth battle essentially. So after I turned that piece into light, I created this other weapon that came up. It looked like stadium lights, and then it was just shooting out these light missiles into whatever was left, and then it just completely disintegrated into light and was gone. And I've had tons of this was the most intense and most like visually appealing battle that I've seen so far. But I've had several, and Archangel Michael's always there with me. Archangel Raphael usually is like the cleanup crew. He comes in after, like, Archangel Michael is a savage. He goes in and like he tears stuff up. Like it's kind of, I wasn't, my idea of what an angel was, and then seeing how they are is totally different.
I believe the two things, like, to me, I know archangels are higher dimensional beings of light, ETs. They are the angels. I know that's come to be crystal clear with me now. And it's interesting, but when you say battles, I want to call them healings. You're
Oh, they are, yeah.
Yeah, healings.
Yeah.
And the idea when you said about energies, and what's come through for me is that entities can stick with us, and like you said, like they're just supernatural beings. Could be your Uncle Frank, who just wants to catch a ride and experience something different in his soul. It's like, Uncle Frank, leave me alone. So that's going in and feeling and sensing and energetically removing that. And what I'm going to do my cleansing prayer, because it ends with my next point I want to say is that as we're cleansing this and removing this energy, turning into light, usually I rise it above into the heavens, or bring it or give it to earth, have it transmuted back into the white light, just like you kind of said. But the word transmuted is like, yes, strong there. And
well, because that's what they told me every time that I do this, that I have to set my intention before I go in, that any energy that comes to me is doing so to be transmuted into love. They said that sometimes the energies are prisoners themselves, and they're stuck doing things that they don't want to do, and they want to be transmuted. So if it comes to me, it's doing so to be transmuted into love. That was interesting that you brought that up. But my question is, with what I was saying about exorcisms and seeing what I see in these battles, healings, is that going to be sort of the next step of, there's more to this than maybe we understand at this point? And is that going to be kind of that next evolution of, all right now you're dealing with viruses or, energy, demon or vampires or stuff like that. But there's this next level that we're preparing for of really getting some stuff going.
There's something interesting that just popped into my head. There's the book, Heaven is for Real, and it's a movie as well. But in the very end of the book, it's not in the movie. The young boy, have you ever heard the story Heaven is for Real? It's about a young boy. He ends up getting sick, appendicitis, but he almost dies. He goes, sees Jesus, and he comes back, says, I saw a grandfather, I saw this. And he's describing so many things about like being on the other side, how beautiful it was and everything. But at the end of it, the description is he saw, I don't know if it was like a deluge, like a flood, but it was like a battle at the end of light and dark. And in the sky, beings, extra dimensional beings of light were coming in, good and bad, like, the energy's going through, just like almost you described there. And dragons coming into the picture and all that stuff in the sky.
I've seen dragons.
So I don't, once again, I can't, I've heard of these things as well, and I've read them. But I can't say yay or nay. One thing about me is that if I could have 10 theories in my brain. I could hit 10 things I've heard on the same topic, and I could speak them all, but I would just speak them and say, I don't know if they're my divine. They're not. I can't say they're my divine truth, but they are theories. I've heard that. So
interesting. Have you seen the show Chosen? I'm sorry.
No, but I think I want to. I think I've heard about that one, and I want to see that one.
Well, that's, and you know how we're led to see certain things, movies and shows.
Oh my God, all the TV shows coming out, Ancient Aliens, it's soft disclosure all over the map right now. I'm excited about it. It's like, way to go, Giorgio.
Yeah. So I've been led to watch certain things and the exorcism was one of the things that popped up in that too, which was after it popped up after I had already gotten the message. So I'm like, okay, I think this is leading me down that path, that this is going to be part of my future in some way, and helping people get rid of these things and understanding how these angels and other parts of it play into this, and getting rid of, maybe being able to identify specifically who it is, so that I know specifically who takes care of. I'm not exactly sure how far it goes, but
I agree. Like, even with Reiki energy, and the other healings I've learned with stuff, is that we can go in and we identify things. And just imagine, of course, this is the new earth we're creating. Because in my mind, I'm thinking, just imagine if we all grew up, that if we all knew that we had these issues, that we could go in energetically and bring your kids downstairs instead of getting out the Tylenol and Advil and this. And how about let's go in and energetically, we're going to work on this together. And you can, like, we're taught to use our telepathy and colors and healings, and to work this, to clear this. It's like, just imagine if all of us knew this. This is what's bringing me forward, like that. Everybody needs to know this stuff.
Absolutely, that's exciting.
And even there's a friend, Nisreen, she's a Reiki master too, and her dream is to have a Reiki master in every household knows Reiki. That's her mission in life, and I love it. And she's on a mission. It's like like whatever's, like we just have to keep doing this and keep sharing.
I like it. Yeah, absolutely. All right, I'm excited.
You just brought forth so many in my mind. It's like energy, the clearing, the transmuting. It's like,
but I think it's so much more, well, at least for me, than what I thought I understood it to be. I think it's turning out to be much bigger than I had originally. Because, originally I'm thinking like, oh, you do Reiki and you feel a little bit better and you're happier afterwards. That was my original thought with Reiki. And now it's like, I think I can heal diseases and heal like.
You're seeing physical energies and you're witnessing it being cleared. For me, I find it's a lot more, and I know because emotions affect us physically. I go in and I do whatever happened, the emotions of something comes up. And it's like, ooh, that happened to you, like a trauma or something bad. And I'm not necessarily shown in the darkest of ways. I'm just shown almost factual stuff with, sometimes I don't have to feel the hard emotion of things, which is good. I mean, I can see excitement as fireworks going off, like whatever I symbolize fireworks representing, that's what I'm seeing. It's like, it's really exciting. This is great. But other things, I'm seeing it more. I think it helps me being a nurse. I can vocalize something like, yes, this happened. Because as a nurse, we had to document it and talk about it in a very forthcoming, professional, straightforward way as well. So I can do that too. Like this. And it's showing me that this happened. This has created the emotions that have caused these energies that you're witnessing and seeing more with your eyes to occur in the body. Like, so I see more colors than darkness things, but like you're just like right on. That's awesome. I mean, that's like that is, so we all know that this is what's probably going to come more in your I land on your front doorstep, as the beings would say, going to arrive on your doorstep. This is what you're going to be dealing more with. Yep.
That's what I feel like. And it's exciting because, like I said, I just thought it was like, hey, I'm going to, put my hands on somebody. I'll make them feel better for a little bit. Or, I mean, I'd never even intended to get Reiki. That was my wife. I knew she was into it. I know she's a natural healer, but I never intended No.
And the words you just said about love, that is the key. You are said, once you know that you're sending Reiki is love. You are sending love, and as well the light. When you can focus that intention, that is what we're doing. We're sending it is love and it is light that we're sending.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's really cool to be able to, it's nice, to hear, because everybody, like I said, everybody's a little bit different. And the lady that I do the channeling with and stuff, she seems like she's similar to you, how she gets the feelings, like she'll feel stuff of, oh, there's pain here, or there's something going not right or whatever. And I don't really feel anything. And I don't see it with my eyes. I see it in my
me too, my third eye. That's thing. I go in and I visually get visions of what can I say that's not too well, like even issues about like issues with fathers or mothers that can come up, whether it be alcohol, drugs, that comes up with and just sometimes just saying those three words, I'm seeing your father and there's alcohol and then there's pain, is enough to
connect the dots and
to bring forth healing. Like, because when I've been on the table with my old Reiki master teacher Angela, I remember I'd be visual while I'm getting my healings, and issues would come up with my ex and my daughter. And as I would say it, like I'm already, like I would start getting teary eyed and emotions would come up as I'm describing what I'm feeling and saying. And Angela would describe the same thing that she's feeling and sensing. It has to do with that. And, or she'll say, oh yes, I was just releasing anger for you right now. And I'm seeing this come up. It's like, oh, like, so she's setting the intention and I'm feeling, sensing and knowing what's coming up. It's like, she's like confirming that she was just releasing that for me. It's like, oh,
that's what my wife and I did it to her the other day. And I was trying to, she has aphantasia, or she can't see in her head. And I think it's a block that has been put in place on purpose by her from her childhood or something. So I was going in and trying to open it so that she could see. And it was so cool because I was like, "Are you seeing anything?" And she was like, I see a little bit of green. And I had asked them to see what she was seeing. So at first it's just all dark. And then I start to see green before she said that, before I asked her. And what it was, I was seeing a little bit more than she was. And it was a window in her head, and there was a tree outside. And the window was foggy, and it was slowly opening the fog on the window. Then it was funny enough, right when she was starting to see the green and I was starting to see more of the tree and you could see the light coming through outside, the cat came over and started licking her hand, and it all went black.
Okay. Wow.
It was really, I mean, it's cool how, but it was another interesting thing of me saying, all right, show me what she's seeing so that I know that it's working or not. And it was really cool that and she was interpreting it like a little bit differently, but I could see the green, how she was saying, coming through the window, and how it was slowly opening. And like, it was just very, and then when I was telling her what, because I could see a little bit more, and then she understood a little bit more. So it was cool to get that feedback of,
Does she feel encouraged now, or does she say, okay, forget it? Is she encouraged
she
now
didn't
to
even know
try?
I was doing
What's that?
that. She didn't even know I was doing that. I just did it on my own. But
Oh, you didn't sit
yeah,
down with intention saying,
I
okay, I'm
did.
gonna open up your
I just would, so when I go in, I kind of didn't have
you gotta have her permission.
well, yeah, I mean, she knows that she wants to have it. I just didn't tell her I was doing it. That it kind of came out of nowhere whenever. So sometimes things just are like, hey, do this, try that,
Yes.
do
Yeah.
this,
So if you
sort of
guys
thing.
sat down though and said, okay, lie in the Reiki bed, I'm gonna open you up. Let's focus together like that.
No, I just said in my head, show me what that she's seeing. And
Okay.
then I
So
tried to
this,
send my energy, and then I started to see it open. And then as soon as the cat came, it just closed off. And I guess it distracted her or whatever when he started licking her hand. But
but
um
just imagine if you set intentions like we're gonna do this every Thursday at
oh
2
yeah,
o'clock.
I'm gonna
You're
do
gonna,
it. I'm gonna open it up because
yeah,
I found out how to do the I think you're the one who told me about the pendulums, right? Of with the chakras.
yes, because
So
in
I
the
tried
screenshot,
that,
yeah.
and I went and I checked all hers. I checked all my animals. So I opened up my wife's root chakra and her crown chakra, and then I opened my dog's third eye and his crown chakra.
Oh my God, that's awesome. I gotta tell Nasreen that.
Yeah. So it was really cool because I went through, did exactly like you said. They were either stopped or some of them were going backwards a little bit. And then afterwards, they were all smooth and going the right direction. And
Oh my God, that's awesome. See,
yeah,
setting intentions and I think it's work because once again, if we're getting out in the world, there's a lot of crazy energies coming in. It's going to affect our energy. So,
yeah,
um, keeping and once again, slowly, that would be amazing. You got to keep me posted, see how your wife is doing and opening it more and more.
absolutely.
Yes. All righty, my dear.
All right, let's
Um,
do it.
I'm going to do my other cleansing prayer.
Sure,
So
sure.
when I do my work as well. So it's called cleansing prayer. I am now choosing to cleanse myself and release any and all thought forms, beings, situations, and energies that are no longer of service to my highest and greatest good across all planes of my existence, across all universes, and across all lifetimes. I ask that all energies that are less than love be transmuted for the highest good of all, and so it is. And I love that one. In the bottom it says you're luminous. And it just made me think as well of oh shoot, I came and went. Where did it go? Oh damn, I just had a thought because it related to something earlier. Um okay, it's gone now. It's gone. It'll come back eventually. It'll come back.
All the time.
It'll come back.
So much going on and coming through and going out.
Oh, I can feel the energies are like high, even just chatting. But
Yeah.
so we'll see what happens now. So we've got some questions, and what we're gonna do is just if we get a pause, maybe wait 10 seconds and see if um I know when I'm channeling, if they keep want to channel, they'll just keep going. That's what they do. So
Okay.
we'll see if we get breaks in between. And of course, think of the questions that we talked about. I have the list here. Did you write anything down?
I didn't. What is the questions?
I talked about the future buildings, the
Okay.
timelines, devices and med beds, of course, and then ask the questions about, oh, me when I was a kid, where I went when I was having those dreams, about in by the place by the swing set, the lights changing, I was disappearing, and then I'd all of a sudden just reappear. And he's also about the question about when I was flying in my dreams. That was like because I would just feel myself levitate, fly in these dreams. But if those dreams I was fine, but other dreams, if I flew, I was scared, but not these ones. So we'll talk about the flying, the swing set and the lights, the port, like whether it was just, portaling or whatever.
I should probably write this down before we get in there. And I'm like, what did she say?
Yes. So the buildings that you talked about, that's cool.
Yeah.
The future timelines, like, are we going to know how soon this is coming for us?
Things, future.
The devices, the med beds, even more devices that came across last year's channeling. Is there more they want to elaborate on? Because there are things, actually, you know what? Oh my God, Joe, because in those channelings, there were ways for healing. Maybe there are the med beds and all this building shit we're talking about. That's why we're talking about it now together.
Swing set rainbow, right? That was
swing set in colors, like a
set.
shower of color. I was just going into, it was a shower. I'd step under it and disappear.
Flying dream where you weren't
flying. Yeah.
Okay. And anything else?
The future timelines, devices, med beds. Well, we know we're feeling momentum now. We're taking action. If of course we want to ask, can they give us any more intel that we need to be, that we can do or be prepared for, or are we going to be stuck waiting? Are we also the February 8th and 9th energy? I wanted to, that's called, there's going to be the transformation. Is this energy or is this physical transformation, an upheaval on earth, or is just energy coming in? I wanted to see if we get more intel on that. They may or may not get it, but let's see. Okay, I'm going to go in now and just do a few. I'm deep breathing. Just once again, I always invite people to take a big deep breath, breathing in through your nose, holding for the count of 4, and then breathing out for the count of 8. And breathing in white light into your lungs. And exhaling out any stress or negativity. And breathing in white light in your lungs all throughout your cells. And breathing out any stress and just letting the shoulders fall away. Okay, the words just came, the booklets. I'm just going to say this now. The booklets you are receiving are coming through loud and clear now. So that was like a boom, just like, so I just said it. Because it wasn't even my regular opening. It's like, they're just yelling, the booklets that you're getting out there are coming out loud and clear. It's like, okay.
Beautiful.
I'm getting offensive. I'm getting sensing even other different higher energies right now. And they want to say like, they want to say in the now and the knowing we are here, and we bring forth as you feel the rising effervescence of these everlasting changes and rising up higher. We are bringing you to a higher level of consciousness at this time, where these words are reverberating and just smashing and flashing off the walls and bringing forth lightning bolts of true source energy flashing across the tree tops at this time. The energy is rising quicker and quicker, and you can feel this notion, and it is bringing forth the new evolutionary timeline that you are speaking of at this time. And you're at this precipice now where you speaking and reaching and sharing the knowledge, where it is just shining forth so exponentially quickly now at this time. Taking these notes and steps now that you are taking with Joe will bring forth the new evolutionary pathways and the learnings and teachings that you have been speaking of at this time. We shine on forth with gladness that you are bringing forth these questions out to the public, into the lives right now, where we know now and trust that the evolutionary pathways are being reached on planet Earth. And these are being cascaded around by many of the channelers and light workers at this time. The footsteps that you're taking are deeply implanting the next evolutionary platforms and strategies that are taking place on your earth right now. You're rising up to the vibrations and bringing forth the energies that are needing and shifting very quickly at this time. The true knowledge of the devices and the lives being affected and the lives that can be saved that you would like to speak of, with the energy shifts and light workers just cascading this energy through these portals, is bringing forth the patterns that you will be receiving more and more on your planet. And the changes you speak of with these buildings and such being built, they are coming now in time, my dear. They are coming and rising up to the platforms where the higher dimensional beings of light will be arriving on these platforms and setting up these buildings with you, and you will be having help and guidance. You will not be all on your own to get these situations set up and in place. And the true healing that will come across the planet at this time will bring forth an even more necessary platforms of changes that will bring forth even more further evolutionary changes. So it is cascading effect of many wonders coming through to you at this time. The seeing the forests and the platforms rising up and the settlers coming in and settling and moving forth are what changes that will be happening on your world. And we see you asking timelines. And as we strip things away, as by notion and idea by idea, the doors are opening more quickly now that are bringing them even further quicker, where your tomorrow could be as quick as in an instant in now, or in our timeline now, because they are just coming through quicker and quicker. And the more you allow these things to take place and move forward through you, these will be arriving on your doorstep even quicker. And the light codes blasting through the universe now is reaching deep into each and every one of you at this time. And these are the light codes that we ask you to take time in notions and meditations and rests and sleeps and naps to allow these light codes to come in, to settle into your cells, into your neurites and your pathways, and to envelop the soul codes, which are deep within your evolutionary bodies at this time, for the ever exchanging energies within your auras, your mental and physical bodies, and your mental bodies are flickering on and off and allowing these energetic shifts in through quickly. And as these are shifting through you, you feel the evolutionary shifts, the higher dimensional shifts. And the quicker you feel them, the quicker you will raise your vibration. And yes, you will feel like you're living in the higher dimensions of the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 dimensions coming through. It is evolutionary changes for many at this time. It's not just for planet Earth in this realm. It is many realms shifting and changing as well for us all. And bearing witness to these evolutionary shifts, we are opening portals and doors that at a moment in time you will reach, and they will all be opened at once, and you will all witness and feel the evolutionary shifts throughout the universe. And as these open, the shifts will happen and occur. And as these shifts and happen, more alliances will come through, and at that time help you through this. And then your consciousness will rise even higher up and join other higher consciousnesses at that time. And this evolutionary pathway is what's expected every so often within your timeline on planet Earth, within the millennia, within the years, within the time zones. This is all happening in repetitive cycles over and over again. And as you bear witness to these cycles opening up, we are feeling the energy coming through. When Melissa was as a child, seeing those lights coming on and off at that playground and dipping into different portal and dimensions, she was bearing witness to the higher dimensions that are existing on the world at this time. She was bearing witnessing and living in higher frequencies at that time, in lifetimes, witnessing the time zones changing and moving and shifting, and storing this deep within her, knowing that this is what's coming through with the future, the healings, the crystals, the stones, all aligning up to be aligning on Earth where they need to be. For she was helping shift and putting these crystals into place and aligning pathways on Earth and ley lines and creators to be in places that they need to be to help with this 5D shift that is arising on your planet at this time. For the future, timelines are shifting and moving forward even quicker and quicker at this time. And no one trusts that. Within other lifetimes and lifetimes ago, other anniversary shifts were done throughout these lifetimes as well, within the sleep, within the deeper consciousness, within the higher realms, and astral travel. Every lifetime on this earth, you've all experienced living shifts within each lifetime to show your expression of what it means to be alive at this time, be at this precipice you are in now. For the higher dimensional shifts are all happening right now, and you will be in that joining zone soon, and you will witness the other dimensions as they rise up as well. As these portals and domes are opening up in a high line, you will witness the tunnels and the funnels of the portals opening, and you will feel the shifts, and you will be felt like you are swooped up and rising up higher and higher. And know that this is a continuation and will continue going on in circles and circles and circles of planetary evolutions going on. And each of your solar system planets have all witnessed and bear witness to these other dimensional shifts as well. And the beings on their worlds have come to Earth to share their stories of evolutionary pathways and changings, evolutions and ascensions going on. And many beings have come and shown these ways to the leaders on the Earth. And many know of these leaders knowing of these truths and the patterns that Earth is going through at this time. And the patterns of being shared have been kept from the many masses. And it has been blindfolded by many with the disguises and guises of other things happening on this world at this time. And no one trusts that. The beings who have their eyes open and know of these are working with you to help you uncover the truths, the fine truths, and the deep-seated awakenings that are going on in your world. And everybody is waking up so much more quickly now. And within their dreams, they will remember how they are shifting in the true knowledge that exists within our world and their worlds on different planets and Venus and Mars and such, where all these evolutionary changes have occurred. And the knowledge is just shining through now. And this is time to open up your heart, and the many masses are receiving these light codes and changes within their bodies and shifting. And we want to give you thanks for paying attention to the alignments of the moons and the stars, for you have understood now the planetary guidelines and pathways that allow the light in, and certain things need to be in place for these lights to come through and to cast light on the shadows and of the dooms on the earth at this time. The dooms have been going on for so long now, and when light can shine light and cast on these areas, for this is when the evolutionary shifts are happening now. And now you understand that things have to be in the right time, in the right space, to allow these shifts to happen. And that what you have all been examining and witnessing on your world now, the putting into place of things where the alignments are coming into place now. And the beings at bay now know and truly know the ramifications of things coming into your flight and your life at this time. And the raising of our vibrations will help the revolutionary pathways on planet Earth now. The ringing of the bells will bring forth knowledge and information that you will be prepared for and ready for the next ascension on your world. And this, my dear one, will bring on the next planetary changes on your world all around at this time. And the beings of love and light and the Christ light are emanating through all, and you're feeling the ramifications of the light codes coming in is the upshifts in your light codes as well, and expanding on your light force and knowledge that you can truly bring forth the healing energy of light within your healings and transform and transmute this energy back into the light. And this is the energy that is shining all across the lands at this time and reverberating across, especially at this time throughout Canada at this time, without the barriers. They are now opening up and seeing the truckers go through, shining their love and compassion and light throughout humanity. And this is the Christ light at work, at play at this time, bringing forth these evolutionary pathways and changes, reverberating this feeling around Mother Gaia Earth, and coming through where each and every civilian on this planet Earth will feel this reverberation of energies coming through now, and deep within their heart and souls are being touched and felt, and know that this is the platform of light to be turned on and felt, that is meant for all of humanity within your planet, across this universe and across all lifetimes. And for all this, and so it is, and it will be at this time.
That's amazing. So we had a couple of questions. Thank you so much for the information that you brought forward. It's amazing to talk to you. The med beds or other devices, are those legitimate devices that we should be looking forward to, or do you have any ideas or timelines or anything like that about those, or any other devices we should be aware of?
The coils and the springs are being brought up forth in the makings of such, where the evolutionary pathways are showing you structures and buildings and devices where healing tools will move forward. Yes, and such, something like you would see on Star Trek. Melissa is in far futuristic hope and likings of many things happening in the Star Trek world and Star Wars. And yes, these are evolutionary pathways within the Galactic Federation that are occurring and exist. And a lot has been held back from you in the structure and society at this time, where the true North Star is shining light, and the technologies coming through to be channeled and the devices being made and the engineers coming up will bring forth new evolutionary changes and devices. And we're hoping that these messages will continue to cast forth and wake up others, where the people will have courage and strength to start building these devices more and more. And we ask you all who receive this message to send out messages of encouragement of light to all your fellow engineers, to get this urgency to and this urge to start building these devices. Feel this desire and urgency now, the courage and strength to just go forth and build these things. The circle of light that is being built that it needs to be encompassed for the earth to connect with Mother Earth is being in the process now of being realigned with the true North Star. And these other engineers are bringing forth other divisions and shifts that will bring forth more light codes and patterns that will bring forth the allowance of the energy to be recircuited and worked in a new structure where it will make the difference of the electronic battery as such, where it will be conducer and conductor of energy, where it is coming through the energy portals that will align with the stars as such. And the hope is things to be put in place to keep these pathways open and allow these energies to continuously flow through and allow the true purpose of these devices to be felt and worked on, and the energy to be held up for a structure and a period of time that is needed for healing on planet Earth at this time. So this is what we are bringing forth, courage and strength for these channelers to bring forth the engineering and the courage to start building these devices and such, and searching out other fellow light workers to be camaraderies with and search out solutions, where to get materials, where to find materials. The answers will come right before your eyes when you ask and seek in groups, seek with the joint company of one another, and the answers will come and the structures will be built, and the evolutionary pathways of healing will be brought to the forefront, and the mixing and the stirring of these concoctions and healing rituals and ways of light, and even herbal supplements and ways, and the spelling and incantations will bring forth the new evolutionary pathways of the new belief codes to be passed on that is coming to reach humanity at this time. And the building of such will bring forth more opportunities for others, light workers and channelers, to bring forth their true camaraderies and joining together and bring the people together, shining forth down this pathway of hope and oneness and love, joining together on this planetary adventure you are on at this time.
Thank you. So I don't know how much you know about me, but I have been tasked with building one of these buildings apparently, or at least asked to, or set up prior to incarnating, however these things work. I'm curious if you have any more information on, or anything that would be useful to me as far as my path or our path or whoever's path this is to create these buildings. And I know you said, Stuart, to talk about building them, and things will come up, which I think I have started to with at least one of my friends. We've kind of started to figure out the education and healing of the future and those sort of things and how we can play our part. Do you have any advice or any other takeaways that I could help to get this rolling and create this future that we're hoping to create together?
Yes, the joining and communing of one all together with us higher dimensional beings of light are bringing us closer and closer together, where the camaraderie and the joining of the minds together, the energies together, will be coming into your mind, as to speak, where you will be using your intuition, and these ideas will be developed within the communion with us, the beings of light. We are joining in together, and this is how the communion will bring forth the channeled ideas and bring forth the ideas to get things done, where you will, joining in this connection will bring forth the answers that you are seeking, and they're coming in, and they're coming quicker and quicker. And the aligning and communion is of, we're all connected and we're all one, and these energies are just shining in, and we're working as a team, and we always have been, and we always will be with this team together. And just know that within this platform you are building upon, we can see you in the middle of the forest building these platforms up. And with our light and help, camaraderie, we will be joining in together, building these things together through energetically. And then in the physical form, we will be aligning and joining you all on that platform coming up in your near future. So we will align together and build these together as well.
That is amazing. So when you say physically, does that mean that we will be physically seeing some of you guys here in our near future?
Yes, the platforms are arriving there and rising up from the ground that we are seeking out and will rise upon again, just like we have in your ancient times. We will be arriving here and sharing on your journey in these evolutionary pathways and bringing forth evolutionary changes on your planet now. We have joined with the communion and channelings at this time, where these engineers and evolutionary pathways are shifting and moving. And this will be seen for quite some time and continue building upon, when we see more of humanity ready, we will be bearing witness to being seen out in public and working with you hand in hand, one-on-one, together in teamwork, building things together on this planet Earth in the evolutionary process together. Yes, we are coming. We have always been here. We have never left your world, but we will be shining our starring lights in front of humanity boldly and brightly very soon, outwards to all the light and love. We will be bearing witness to be seen with the open eye. As such, the more channelers spending and sharing their light at this time now will bring forth more evolutionary patterns for us to streamline through and show ourselves with the allowance of the energy shifts moving forward now. So we ask channelers and light workers to be very cautious and open and aware and pay attention and take note for when these connections start to happen. Take note that these are occurring at that time, and being in the presence and knowing that and opening and expanding your energy will bring forth us being seen with your eyes open much quicker. And we're already doing that now, but you need to focus and spend the time in the mode of meditation and inviting us in to bring us forth even quicker and brighter onto your land at this time.
Well, I invite you to communicate with me whenever you feel the need to or want to. I'm open. I've so far only communicated with a couple beings, but I'm open to helping with however I can. And with that being said, do you have any advice for Melissa and I or any other light workers to help speed up the process to get you to a position where you feel comfortable to show yourself? Is there something that we can do to help that process or speed up that process?
Continue shining your light like you are today at this moment in time. The communion together now and the urgency taken is the fine manifestation of following your heart's true desire and moving forward and taking action and taking steps. For this is bringing you forward and flowing in a straight direction where there is full speed ahead momentum. Yes. If you are not feeling this full speed ahead momentum, then you might not be on the right path. So knowing to feeling this full speed ahead momentum will bring you forth the evolutionary truth that you need to be on, that will bring forth this connection, which we are all witnessing at this moment. We're all around you. We're all one, all connected that within this evolutionary process, within our lifetimes and dimensions of light and love. We're all this true form connection. But being forth in this manifestation and this moving forward energy, this is what you want to stay in to bring forth this connection even broader and stronger and truer with the higher dimensionals you're rising into at this time. This is the energy you want to feel and stay in. When you feel less than this and you don't feel the momentum and you're feeling blocked, then we ask you to shift your thoughts and feelings and your emotions to what will move you forward, what go with that feeling of momentum and moving forward quickly. That is the energy to be in and to feel. And it's all about feeling and staying in that feeling. We ask you to sit and truly feel these energies now. And the energy of truly feeling and moving ahead doesn't allow for the fear or the energies of lack to pop up. For when you bring in fear and lack, then your energy vibrations are slow and you won't feel you're moving ahead. So that will be your indication to shift back into that higher frequency of momentum and moving forward. If this feels right, are you moving forward? Because if you're not moving forward and if it slows down, then you know you're not in the higher dimensional pathways that you can be in at that time. So feeling, moving forward, to feel the energy shift moving ahead. We just gave Melissa an example of that feeling of being in the moving ahead, and then what it feels like to have that doubt pop up. And she can feel that shift of lower vibrations of being stuck in the energy of slowness and not allowing the fear in will slow your vibrations and slow your frequencies. And it can't exist. This feeling of fear does not exist in the momentum of moving forward with great reverence and possibilities. It doesn't exist. It can't exist. You can't move forward in that feeling of fear. So trust that feeling, when you're moving forward, and what will happen and what won't happen when you have your feelings that you are feeling of the dimensional shifts you're in. So go with those guidance, those systems of feelings. You bring forth your true evolutionary changes you are basking upon now, and you're bearing witness right in the middle of this true hold of strength right now. You're mere barreling into the middle of this now, and this true momentum will bring you forth to higher dimensions that you couldn't even imagine, of landing on this platform of true manifestation of your true north self, of who you're truly meant to be, of humanity escalating up and rising on up to this mountaintop, this peak of evolutionary pathways, to be your true self. And it is coming now, my dear ones. You are right in the middle of all this at this time.
I feel it for sure. My question to you, and I know that you said we're all one, and I understand that, but how would you identify who I'm speaking with at this time so that I could call you in the future to talk with you?
The beings of light within your galactic time zone now continue raising your vibrations, and the elevation of time zones coming into your existence and your platform around your world now will bring forth all of our evolutionary consciousnesses all together. And as you're raising your vibrations, you're meeting us head on with the higher dimensional and the eighth dimensional beings of light. As you rise higher to the ninth dimension, the beings of light, and you continue rising up to the 10th dimensional beings of light, for we can continue rising and rising. And we're giving Melissa this feeling of raising her vibrations, what it feels like to be in 3D, 4D, 5D, 6D, 7D, 8D, 9D, 10D. The evolutionary pathways now are rising. She's feeling of 10, 11D rising higher now, 12D is off the charts now. So Melissa's been staying in 9 and 10th and 11th throughout this conversation, and dipping into the 12th. It's the feeling shifting is higher and higher, rising our vibration, our connections to our higher evolutionary selves and beings in your timelines and in our future timelines are all combining in one notion at this time. You can feel it all at this time, and allowing the connection to reach your higher self and higher up, where you are endless in your platform of your soulness, your beingness, continuing higher vibration of your connection to this all. The 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, it continues, 14th feeling, 15th, 16th, where it can keep going, but it's more practice to sit in these zones of light, to keep moving forward in this time zone, the quickening, the more dizziness you may feel at this time, to get these answers and support systems that you are feeling. So it is coming. It's once again being in this space time. The longer you're here, the higher vibrations you can feel and stand with last and withstand, and being in your body will acclimate to even longer and further as you stay in these higher vibrations. This is the space to stay in more often, to commune with us, where you will receive your answers, and also communing with us to bear witness to the higher dimensions and what can happen and come through to your world, and the manifestation and the magic of life and nature and support and creation, all vastly together, which you are rising up and reaching your true self, where it will continue rising higher dimensional levels, higher and higher, as your soul and body acclimates now, even within the spirit world and the realms of the journey of souls, is speaking highly of the different evolutionary journeys a soul may take, the level of the soul where they have reached on their lifetime. And it is as that rises higher and higher, your dimensional expression changes as you reach these higher dimensions of being of light. So the soul world itself is a lower dimension, as Melissa's feeling the different shifts of the dimensions of the spirit world, where you rise higher and higher, as the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th dimensions are even, as your soul advances even higher and higher, it is much advanced in the spirit world. After you pass away, the knowledge and the light continues to grow it out from your expression of creation, rising higher and higher. So know that's you are on the evolutionary pathway to continue going down this path to reach these higher vibrational states. And then it's the being you will be in continuous communion of being in the evolutionary pathways and changes that the soul will go through within your lifetimes on your evolutionary cycles of moving forward. And this evolutionary change of the galactic universe at this time is just raising your vibrations even higher. And this sitting in this vibrations, the longer you spend here, the higher you will practice and acclimate yourself to bringing these vibrations even higher and higher too.
Thank you for that. So my next question, Melissa and I were speaking a little bit before talking to you about this healing that is coming through, that I've sort of been, I don't know if tasked with is the correct way to term it, but sort of given, and been told that it's my gift and that I need to share it with the world to help heal. And I understand the responsibility in that. But I had been led towards this route of sort of magic, however you want to look at that, energy manipulation, however, it translates. But and then also through to like possession and sort of those sort of, and doing exorcisms. Is this going to be part of my path with this healing, or is Melissa involved with this, or any of these other healers, or am I misinterpreting things?
We are seeing shifts and some breakages of the shifts where platforms will come through, where the energy shifts will bring forth the evolutionary changes that the soul will need to make to move into the next dimensions. So we are bringing forth the ideas that the energy shifts you will need to bring forth to help dissolve, transmute these other energies that are less than love, to remove them from the light body, so the human capacity can shift into the higher lights. So yes, energies will need to be removed that are less than love and less than light. So bringing forth these evolutionary changes, the feelings now are being shared with Melissa. They are like of the third, fourth, fifth dimensions, where you are expressing these, and the removal of these energies, dispelling of these energies that can no longer exist in the higher vibrational frequencies. So by helping humanity, by helping release and transmute these energies, we'll be allowing these shifts to occur even quicker, to raising the higher vibrations. For these darker energies will not exist, cannot exist in these future timelines, in these future higher vibrational shifts. So by helping humanity release these less than love entities and energies, will help them bring forth their light codes to allow the evolutionary process of ascension to occur within their own bodies. That is the important information to be shared at this time, where you will be helping the raising of vibrations and such. And this is coming in through, there's a feeling of deja vu going through Melissa at this time now about evolutionary healing and futuristic time zones coming on now in the healing, and to do with sweaters at this time, and is coming through where there is a shift going on now, and it's hitting the nail on the head right now for many, that this is the way we're going to help humanity shift, is by helping remove these less than love energies out of their auras, their chakras, their mental bodies, their energy bodies, their emotional bodies. This is what's going to help make the shift even quicker, by the helping and allowance with the alliance of the light workers coming together to remove these energies from these bodies. And yes, this will bring forth the evolutionary shifts where more people will exist in higher dimensional beings of light in these shifts of energy.
That's amazing. So is that what I see when I'm in these battles that I call them? When in my head, I guess is happening when I'm doing these healing sessions? Are these light and dark battle? Am I literally battling with these entities?
The word of the healings is the true precipice coming on, but there's a higher vibrational word that's even greater than healing. It's you are bringing in the light, and you are dispelling and transmuting the darkness, the energies that cannot no longer exist in the higher dimensional beings of light. These energies, there's a higher word, the higher feeling of vibrational frequencies of bringing forth the allowance, that once these energies are removed, all that can exist is higher dimensional realities, higher dimensional frequencies can exist. The allowance of that will bring forth so much greater energy.
Makes so much sense. Thank you so much for that. It's amazing that you're saying that. So I think we covered most things. The one thing that, Melissa did have a question about, she had dreams when she was younger where she was flying and she wasn't scared. Do you have any insight on that?
We are casting out any fear of the future timelines, and pillars of light were being raised at that time.
Oh, that's beautiful. So when we dream, I'm assuming that it's much more than we understand. And are we going into different dimensions and going through trainings that are going to help us in this lifetime? Because I know, I don't remember many of my dreams, but I know that I have had dreams of learning to levitate and learning to breathe underwater. Are these things that we're going to be able to pull into this lifetime, or are they purely in the dream world?
The batteries have been placed within the energy cores that when all connected and the veil is lifted and these energy systems are all spread across the world, you will understand the true form of your telepathy and the true form of what it is to be human in your divine form. Just like the evolutionary process we witness of your superheroes. This is the bare necessities of higher dimensional living, of higher dimensional beings of light. The possibilities all truly exist within our universe. And the experience of that will be known and shine cast on going into the fifth dimension.
That's beautiful. So that's why I've been guided to watch these movies with these superheroes that are figuring out their powers and stuff.
Crystal cities are being built. That's what we will be living in.
I feel it. I definitely.
Time zones and the connections are just clicking into place now.
So one more question. February 8th and 9th, there's something happening apparently predicted. Is this a transformation of energy or an upheaval within the earth, or do you have any information on what this may be? Is it anything?
The energies are shining in the true north strength.
So sort of an energetic upgrade.
The energy's shifting now, Joy. It's slower now. It's weird. Things have shifted. I think everything is slow now.
Oh, really?
Yes. I'm seeing an energy face. I'm trying to try like a being. I'm trying to picture it, but it's harder to. It just gave me a little flash of eyes and like a rounder skull. But I feel my vibrations are lower now. They're not as high as they were with this energy. I'm just trying to see what I'm being shown light bulbs, ideas that are being thrown across a crowd of people. I'm being shared showing something different now. So I'm going to share it. Oh, wow. It's showing me in a different way. Like beings of light, they're showing me like ETs, they're showing me this light bulb being thrown across the masses. And everybody's wanting to grab onto it. I'm being shown everybody wants to grab onto this light bulb and this energy.
So is that like an idea or? It's
an idea and energy. It's energy. It's like yellow, bright light, and and everybody wants to grab onto it. And it's being shown to me like a trophy, and it's upside down. Now it's being turned up where this golden trophy is now holding up the earth. Oh my God, this is friggin' cool. This is weird how I'm just being shown in a different way.
Yeah.
In a different form. Much more calmer and gentler now. And there's other beings, and I'm being shown other beings and a king's crown that want to lift up this energy off this platform, and then it's being put back down and lifted up and then put back down again. It's like, so that I think it's showing me there's still a bit of a, I don't like we could say battle, but there's still more of a duality going on. Are we being held up securely with this light? Yes, no, yes, no. Other beings are trying to shift it off, on, off to hold our earth up with the light. Let's just see what comes up now. And being shown energy being into this glass tube and moving through like portals. And I'm getting the messages like the portals of energy of light are coming through to you now. Take haste, embrace yourself. The messages are shifting up and down now with energies moving through you. And you need to feel these energies to make these shifts purposeful and bring forth the energies that are going to shift others. It's once again all in the feelings again. And I'm once again showing Melissa now these feelings of movement within her head to feel the shifts. When you're feeling and sensing Mother Earth taking your steps, what are you sensing and feeling every day? We're asking you to feel this every day, to pay attention to know when these shifts are coming, to feel the vibrations as if you want to feel shakes on the earth and such. I'm asking you to feel for these vibrations. then you will know what is coming when you feel these shifts.
Okay.
And the energy is being asked of you, which is Melissa's but has her knowledge of before, is when these energies come through, we ask you to take some time and rest and lie down.
Okay.
For if there's upheaval coming to you on your world, we ask you to sit in the light and bask in the light with true purpose manifestation and meditation, rising your vibration higher and allowing in the light, continuing allowing in the light will continue to raise your vibrations higher. And now we're showing Melissa what this feels like to raise your vibrations as you're allowing in the light. This is what we ask of all of humanity, to sit with the light, allowing it in. This is what you need to raise your vibrations. And it will take time and intention, and to feel the earth move and shake and allow this in you to allow the next steps to take place. This will bring the shift in. And allow in the light. And the instances of within Mother Earth and the inner beings of other within Mother Earth, beings will come and rise and shine, and there will express and expose themselves at this time to be of light and be of service at this time. They are helping you move through these times and these changes, and they're helping you with these shifts, and know that you're not alone. And the true purposefulness of the beings of light within the Mother Earth and Agartha are coming forward and will be shining and sharing your journey, your pilgrimage across the world at this time. They are here to shine on that, for that is their true purpose, to
That's
shine.
so awesome. And I feel so empowered knowing my purpose and having the connection with you guys and having that ability to kind of ask the questions and know that we're on the right path. And it's very encouraging. And like I said, I feel very empowered with my mission now and going forward to help in any way that I can, and doing, my part in all of this. So I appreciate all of you guys' help and guidance through this. And my only request is that, as we all do, more, and if you could help out as much as possible, and I'll do my best to relay the messages and everything on my end, but I'm always open for more as much as we possibly can. I think ultimate individual goal is to explore the ultimate potential of the soul, which I was told is limitless. So I'm very excited to see where that potential goes in the future. I do have one question that keeps coming to my mind, and I'm sure it's no coincidence, so I'm going to ask while I have you here. It's sort of personal, but when I was a child, I had this dream. I don't know that it was a dream or if it was real, where I encountered a blue being and a red being, and I thought that they were ninjas when I was a kid, but I don't think that they were. And it felt like it was in the sky on some sort of ship or something to that effect. Do you have any information on that?
I'm being led to a galactic ship with images of seeing Ewoks and a bottle of blue liquid, and
Okay.
beings of critters holding on to this blue bottle of liquid.
Okay.
The expression of sharing in this communion, a connection of different beings together, of playfulness and connection, as a door awakening, a window awakening to the other side of the universe, to let you know that yes, we exist, we are here, you're not alone, and there's so much other joys and adventures out here, not just the regular 3D Earth stuff. You are able to bear witness to the extraordinary, extrasensory abilities and journeys and other beings within our creation on the universe. You were shown this to let you know there is another way. And now is the time that all your true, deep-seated, heartfelt belonging of back then is coming forward now and shining, for you to remember that you were a child on earth seeking and wanting the truth, and your soul was able to see that. And now on planet Earth, we are living in 3D. And that one strong message that is coming up, that you need to remember how many others are still in 3D, and they all might be living in this time. and going day by day, not knowing that there is anything else extraordinary going on. It is up to us to help share that there are these windows and glimpses that we can show them. There are other ways. There's not just the 3D way, but we need to understand that they are living in 3D still. And we must meet them at the level of 3D and slowly let them see through these windows and doors of these beautiful galaxies and beings that exist and that we can all have fun with and enjoy in our lifetimes, that we have in many other lifetimes and will continue in our future. And this does truly exist on your world and your planet. And this is the next message to share out to others, is that we can expand upon 3D together, but we must come to their feeling and knowing of being with them, communing in 3D, to help them expand, to understand there could be more. But we must take the time to feel that their beingness at 3D and understand that. And we can show them little glimpses of the 4D, 5D. And that feeling, knowing you have now as a child that you were shown this is what we know we can now show on to moving forward and with humanity, that they can have this feeling and ability to feel there is something more out there. There's more to life than the 3D world. And this might spring some up quickly with joy and excitement, and this may frighten others, but we must help remove their fears, or let them feel the fears, but let them know what the feeling of calmness and joy can feel like, and know that trust that they can trust in the new future process of things unfolding and expanding out into higher dimensional beings through 4D and 5D and other beings of light, that eventually their soul will understand that they are limitless. But it might be step by step, day by day for some, and we must remember that and help guide them along very carefully and slowly, with shining our flashlights out and putting out nice soft carpet in front of them to help cushion their steps as they trek out into their new worlds. For when they're seeing these other beings of light, these cute other beings of joy, that we surround them with the softness and the gentleness, what will help supply them the needed strength and cushioning around them, so they can have the courage to, and bravery and strength to even furtherly expand their knowledge and bear witness to the trueness of what is really going on and exists in our universal platform now.
That's amazing. That helped me. I had the intuition that that's what it was. So with that being said, is there something that is holding me or Melissa or any other light workers back from maybe physically seeing you guys, as we kind of spoke of before, but why haven't I had those experiences since then, or any more encounters? I feel like I'm open. I don't think that I would be scared. I know that fear is a big preventer for you guys. You don't want to raise any fears or anything like that. Is there something that's holding me or Melissa or anybody else back that we could work on to? I would love to talk to you face to face, or come up on your ship in a dream or in the astral world or anything like that. I would be ecstatic to do something like that. Is that a possibility, and how do I get there?
We are showing Melissa images of the all-seeing eye, of our innate beautiful eye all together. We are with you, and we are seeing the eye turning in, going within, knowing we are here and you are seeing and witnessing us. And the longer you sit in this higher vibration, as Melissa is, she can start to see some faces, and knowing that we are communing right now and right here with you. As you move forward in this forward fold manifestation, will bring forth the truer physical manifestation quicker. The allowance of being in this and allowing us to move forward with our forward manifestation will bring forth us quicker than ever to being seen. We are asking you to keep your eyes out in the open fields and out in the sky, as Melissa does, looking for that ship that may look different, or the energy of light, the beings of light that do come in the dreams. And as the energy shifts to higher vibrations, we will be communing more in the physical form. The ideas and thoughts of physical contact, or ET connections, are coming forward even more now. People are bringing forward their stories of some have reached up into the light and the ships. Some stories are still questionable. Are they true ETs, or are they manifestations of the deep state, or the United States deep state of beings and creations of their own ships? That has come into question. Of guises and disguises. Are they all of the higher dimensional beings, or are some of the physical form of humans making these ships to look like the extraterrestrial ships that so many are seeking to live the true experience of meeting? And as the platform shifts, the higher dimensional beings and connections will come forth with more meetings and greetings.
Well, I look forward to that. I'm excited. I have two questions that just came up from that thought. One, I think it's called scrying, where you look into a black mirror with candles. It's a magic technique. Is that a way to communicate with you guys and see you in the physical, or is that not true?
For we ask you to stay within the light, to continue. Is
that not the light?
Look into seeing us. Looking at a crystal ball is a form of scrying as well. Facing your gaze and shifting your gaze within the middle of the night, you can reach and see the higher dimensional shifts going on and coming through at that time.
And are those things safe for us to practice? You said to stay in the light. I don't want to do anything that would get me away from the light. So how do I know for sure? Are these books that I'm reading safe? Is magic safe? Or how do I know?
For magic is existing. And the shape shifting that does occur on your world comes through the forms of ways of many magic ways. We do want to keep our truest and highest intentions straight, of our highest and greatest good, for you can allow in other dimensional beings of energies that might not be of your highest and greatest good. So we do ask you to take note of what you are asking to receive.
I would only want to speak to angels or Jesus or higher light beings, and I would love to see them in the physical as much as possible, is all I'm after.
So within the communion of energy, we're already there with you now.
I feel you guys. I just would love to see you. I can see you in my mind's eye, just more with my physical eyes. And I know that this is all human things that are coming up, but just my own. And I'm sure other people would love to see you guys as well. You're beautiful beings. So we'd love to encounter you and talk to you and chat with you and learn from you and all those good things, as we already are.
Within the choir singing and the higher and raising of your vibrations, and the chanting and the toning will bring you in the space of allowing these higher dimensional beings of light to be elevated and come before you now.
Interesting.
The continuation of these raising of your vibrations will bring forth more and more of your raising your vibrations to meet us closer and closer.
Is that what the breathing exercises do as well? Changing our vibration to higher vibration to connect with you better?
Yes, breathing brings in your life force and moves it throughout your body, and the energies forms throughout your kundalini and throughout your spinal column and within each and every part of your cells. The higher toning and chanting raises your vibration, so you will be meeting us halfway, so to speak. Allowing the vibrations to continue to raise will bring forth more openness and awareness of what is actually around you existing in these higher vibrations. And that is the space to go to and be in. And remember, the toning and the sounds you make can bring forth true frequencies of manifestation, of sight and healing all together within the higher vibrational tones. For we are all made of sound vibrations, and the notion of that is such an alarming thing to so many, that the sound must be taken more seriously to your heart and the tonings, because you are bringing forth manifestation with what you say and how you say it. And the sound will bring forth the evolutionary changes, will bring forth manifestation right before your eyes. Wow. Of the sounds and toning that you make.
How does music play into that? Like the music that I create, how can I invoke those same? Is that possible, or is it only through chanting and ohms and those sort of things? Or is the music, because I know I'm trying to change the tone, the frequency that we tune to is more in harmony with what we should be using, what I use. Is that on the right track, or is this two separate fields of thought?
No, the 432 healing, other vibrational healing hertz are bringing your body into the correct vibrational tonings that are meant to be in at that time. As you continue the healing tones and sounds, the vibrations of healing will be manifested quicker and quicker, and allow forth, as the vibrations higher raised to the higher dimensions, you will seek out and discover the manifestations and making of things and how it all works in the mastermind of creation. It is so, in the blink of an eye, the answers will be there for you when you reach that higher level of dimensional being. The answers are there in the blink of an eye, and you're getting closer and closer to that precipice at this time as you're raising up, and the people in the masses are rising up and coming together. And when enough people are in a specific frequency, that group can manifest our beings present in front of you even further and quicker. So bringing forth the group of people will allow us to be manifested and to be seen by that group. And the energies that can exist in that will be bear witness to within a group of souls and beings coming together. So we ask you to join in community with your fellow light workers and channelers, with setting the same intention. And we will manifest our energy quicker within the blink of an eye in front of you. And we're having Melissa imagine an area outside now on top of a rock platform, and imagine the group of people. And this group of people are now in the energy zone of what we would call a snow globe. And the energy is different in the snow globe. And on top of this rock, the energy is bringing forth the manifestation of true beings of light. We are opening up, and we are bear witness to, but only to the people in the snow globe at this time can only bear witness to this energy field.
Is that what Stonehenge was used for?
The people around don't bear witness to that energy. Stonehenge itself has been forth the carrier of information, the bringing forth of transformation of energy and sound. Landing zones, platforms, energy transmission stations, reverberating, seeking knowledge and answers and the truth. Yes, higher dimensions live in these energy zones.
And
feeling
how
within these.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
So if I'm understanding correctly, me as an individual, I could potentially raise my individual vibration to the 12th dimension if I wanted to. Is that correct?
Yes, your evolutionary pathway is leading you in that direction. And the thoughtful and holding of joining in, communing with one another, the joining in. I'm now showing Melissa the energy of tree rings expanding and expanding deeper and deeper out and higher. These tree rings go so deep of the physical form and the energetic form. The growth patterns exist of creation. The tree will grow and rise within this energy. The energy of creation is soaring within this higher vibration. And as the higher you receive these transmissions flowing through you, for the energy of the magic you speak of is the life force that you all possess will go through you. And the true hold of the manifestation of magic manifesting with your hands is being seen and bear witness right now. On top of this golden light, on top of some pyramids right now, the connection of these higher vibrational frequencies are being shown now. The different dimensions on top of these pyramids are being shown, different dimensionals of true form pyramids in full action in working zones right now. They are in working zones. They are working. They're bright and golden, and they are emanating energy out in higher dimensional frequencies right now. In another dimension, they are fully working right now.
Wow. So going back to the individual, I'm just trying to make sure I understand this correctly. If I, just for an example, if I was in the 12th dimension and or is, so what I'm getting at is, in order for us to reach the fifth dimension, it's an average of all humans, correct? Whatever their vibration is at compare. So some of us could be in the 12th and some of us in the third, and wherever it averages out would be where Earth is. Is it, am I understanding that correctly?
The earth is moving forward as a collective, and the information moving forward will bring you all forward together into the next dimensional living of bliss.
So our individual frequency doesn't have anything to do with the raising of Earth's frequency?
The sensations and feelings of the knowing is that there will be a platform where certain energies that are less than a certain frequency will not be able to pass through this energy shift. They will not, if energies are not at a certain vibration, they will not go through to the shift. That is the feeling, the sensation, the knowing that it will, certain energies will not exist. They will fall away. They will not get through to the higher vibrational shifts. Only certain frequencies will exist in
So,
this.
so I understand that. What I'm trying to ask is Earth, so Earth vibration is raising to the fifth dimension, is that correct?
The vibrations are on their way up, moving.
So do we as humans, does our individual vibration affect the speed, or does it affect in any way that vibration raising, or is that happening independent of what is happening to us as individuals?
The feeling and sensation being given to Melissa now is that as you are raising your vibration and rising up to the higher dimensions, in all the glory of light and the Christ light exists here, and the notion of love is existing here, and this light is being shown to Melissa, and all the guides above are being above, showing that this anticipatory of joining in this light is we want all humanity and the consciousness to be joining in this white light, but also knowing that if you are rising up and you are in, have your fellow brother and sister beside you, and you're rising up and their vibrations aren't as melting as melded as yours are with the high vibrations, you may reach your hand out, and with all your might you can wish that person's vibration raised, and if they answer you within an instant, you can grab them and take them with you. But if you wish and you hold on to them and they're not of that vibration, they cannot come through with you. That is the feeling and sensation being shown to Melissa right now. You can reach out and hope with your might, they will raise their vibration, and if they can, they will come with you. But if not, they will fall away, and you will not feel or see their existence in this new evolutionary process.
So when
But
you say that, is it a literal split that is going to happen between the third and the fifth dimension, where I may be standing directly next to somebody and all of a sudden they will not be there anymore? Or will they die in some human form that just appears like that, and they will be taken to another third dimensional, or the other third dimensional Earth? Or, and if that is true, is there a timeline for that happening?
we're showing Melissa the energies right now of being in the under the water with the dolphins, and they were swimming around this particular portal dimension core that is spinning and spinning and spinning. For this is showing the raising of vibrations of Earth at this time.
So the people,
what we are showing Melissa answers
okay,
step by step at this time.
okay.
For the key knowledge of so many people peeking over the fences to see what's it like up in the fifth dimension. There are many faces popping up now, wanting to see and feel and experience what's the expression of life going to be like here. We're showing Melissa this now, and there are many people peeking up and looking in and want to know what it's all about. The energies are guiding many to this light post, and many souls are aware that these light posts have been set for them to reach. And the energy frequencies and shifts and feelings are of a knowing that you have set your own light post. When you reach your light post, you will know if you are shifting or you are staying, or you will be going to another world or planet. This information seems to be coming across as sacred and to each person very distinct for their soul journey to reaching these points of evolution. You've set this light post up for yourself, and Melissa loves the analogy of the light post. For before you came here, energetically, you set up light posts to let you know that you were on the right path and on your journey. And when you receive specific answers, you know you'd be there. And when each and every person gets to this light post, they will know at that moment if they're moving into the fifth dimension, or are they done and off to another world at this time. The evolutionary pathway is most people want to move forward and live a different way, but there's other beings who are quiet and subdued and not moving within this energy. It's more of a dullness that's not moving. And that's what we are showing Melissa now. There is energy not moving, and there's energy moving. The evolutionary questions that have come up, I see you're seeking more information. And at the precipice, the knowledge is being asked of the timeline that this may be coming and shifting at. And the worlds are turning and spinning. The axes are turning right now and spinning. And they're quickening and quickening. And these golden axes are spinning and spinning. The power of within is arising and coming deep to the core, and the core will be shaking and shattering and giving true momentum of the world shifts that will take you onto the next planetary transition and ascension. We ask that you live forward with true purposefulness, moving forward, shining your light, and bringing forth the energy of higher vibration, so you will move and shift even quicker through this energy fields. And this will bring forth the energy around you to flow in a direction where others will much easily follow with grace and ease. It will lead them, and this energy pathway will lead them all in a certain direction. And that is the momentum moving forward on Earth right now.
So can I ask, and I know that there's no necessarily right or wrong way to do anything, but is there a more efficient way that I could be doing things to move this process along? I know that we kind of have to bump around in the dark sometimes to figure things out, but is there a way to turn a flashlight on and kind of walk through this a little more efficiently, or is bumping your head in the dark sort of part of the process?
Casting light onto things and opening up blockages and poked holes, it will be a way to allow more light in and expansion. But it needs to flow, it needs to be allowed in, but it needs to keep moving forward. And that is the momentum that is taking place, that you're living in right now. And the expression that you have been speaking of with Melissa of this day, of leaning in, moving forward quickly, feeling the vibrations rising higher, you know you're on the right path and moving forward with true manifestation to reach your true self. If you sit in the lower vibrations with fear and doubt, then you will not be moving forward quickly at all. And that energy that we speak of that needs to be moved will not be moving. So with the speed of vibrations that you are living in, when you feel the allowance, that is when you're moving, manifesting. When you're living in doubt and fear, you're just slowing the whole process down.
Very interesting. That makes a lot of sense. So it's very much on ourselves to keep ourselves in that state to move forward. Otherwise, we're kind of slowing ourselves down.
Yes, this is the joining of all the evolutionary processes of all the beings on your world at this time, from the energies of the true beings of light to the inner earth. The messages of connectivity are, the energy is shining through, and the momentum is building and building, and that energy flow is moving now. And that is opening up even more, we'll say, vortexes and the portals, or just manifestation on your earth that are allowing these changes to take place. So it is happening and is moving.
So I just want to be frank for a second, if I can. Money is obviously something that is a necessary requirement in our time and space on this planet. And a lot of us light workers aren't having the money coming in that is, and I know that we're all taken care of to a degree, but this fear thing that you just spoke of, and us trying to stay in this certain vibration to do our task, it can be difficult at times when you're not exactly sure how the bills are going to be paid next month. Do you have any advice on that, or how we can sort of manifest more money to make this process a little easier on ourselves? Or is this just one of those things that we have to experience and go through as well?
You're just showing Melissa a vision of candles being made, and they're almost being in the form of a Christmas tree, and they're red. But the formation of candles is the building of making of your own, and candles will be lit, and they will be of energy. No, it's the light being lit and the making of yourselves as the true manifestation of moving forward, that you will be taken care of. Once again, being in that energy of forward motion and feeling the higher vibrations, know and trust that moving forward, you will be, everything that needed and required is there for you. It is just in existence on that pathway. If you do not make the candles and if you do not light them, then you will still be feeling and living in lack. But if you step up and you make these candles and you light them and you continue making these, it's forward motion of continuously making your future taken care of what you need. You need to continue building and manifesting what you moving forward. And that energy is of compilation of moving forward and continuation of moving forward with you building, making these candles of your energy that will move you forward, and you will be taken to your future with everything you need.
So it's no coincidences that you said candles, is it?
Candles are of light, will move you forward, and they are made with true intentions.
Well, the reason I ask is I have channeled about me being a candle that other candles are going to come to be lit to carry on so that they can go light other candles. So I was curious if Araya perhaps was sending along messages through you or something, because it's very similar to what I've channeled in the past. So
this is a beautiful analogy of lining up the energies of being made and built one after another, and it's a continuation. It will keep moving forward into your manifestation of what you truly desire and into the higher dimensional future that that we are speaking of. And you are correct. This will continue you moving forward.
that's
and I'm
awesome.
getting the letter A is showing with kindness and strength, and a message that the letter A shines bright with you.
Is that Araya?
The halo of light is shining around this letter A and bringing forth rivers of knowledge.
That sounds like Araya.
And ask you to continue riding on this river of knowledge, flowing and flowing.
Definitely Araya. Well, there's my confirmation. That's what they talk about all the time, is my river and flowing in there. So
Will be the light boat for many to sit upon, going down this flowing river. You are the light and lifeboat, bringing forth many of the collective together. And as we are showing Melissa this beautiful cliffside coming down this river flow, you're guiding them all down this river into this new pathway intertwined with other dimensional beings of light, working with you on your lifeboats, moving forward together on this new earth pathway now.
That's so beautiful. So do you have any advice before we end this session? Do you have anything that you would like to pass along to us, for us to pass along to others, or any advice personally for us, or anything of that nature?
The amazement and awareness you have received in this last month is astronomical, showing Melissa bearing witness of being in a little bit of shock, and then in honor and awe of what is happening and what you're bearing witness to now. Keep this childlike maneuvering of enjoyment of what you're learning. Keep this alive, for we will keep bringing you forth more of these sessions and more of these ideas and more of these experiences of showing you of ideas of, oh my goodness, look at this. This is coming. This is new. And we keep casting the letter A in Melissa's visions to keep reminding you, you are truly guided and supported. And this is just manifesting into your future. And it is just spiraling out in manifesting in a beautiful way right now. So continue casting out this and accept and allow these experiences to be reveled and reeled into your life expression, your life force, your energy, and your light. Allow it in, and that will help keeping the manifestant growing of shining around earth and manifesting into the higher dimensions of your true selves that you are all being divinely guided into at this time. And with the benevolence of love and light now, we are in gladness and honor and with grace and ease with the expressions that have been expressed throughout this afternoon. And we wish to bestow upon you all the manifestation of love and light and to share these messages of hope and continue rising up humanity with these messages and be that light post for others, be that pillar of light, for they are going to be grabbing and reaching out, and they are going to learn how to build their own light posts and pillars of light into the future that is arriving on your doorstep now. Wow. And with the blessings of love and light, we go now with peace and grace and the benevolent words of the white Christ light spreading deep within the hearts and souls of all. Now that's, we are living in this Christ consciousness of light now. And this is where we will continue forming the new manifestations of your future now. And we go now with blessings of light and love now. Peace be with you all. Amen.
Peace be with you. Love and light. Thank you so much.
Wow. I just want to laugh. Oh my God. It's like, whoa. I was just shown, I was on a friggin' adventure.
That was amazing.
I'm dizzy now. Like, oh, I feel better with my eyes closed than with my eyes open right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Whoa. That was a lot. That was intense.
I know.
Really good information.
And I felt the energy change and shift at one time. And when it got really slow, I was shown, and I think we all have to do this. It was a message showing the beings of like they're right here. They're in inner knowing. I can see them. They're right here, and they're showing me their faces like, okay, we need to slow down and just ask, okay, please let's commune. Just show me your inner self now. And in a slow motion, we need to do that because with channeling, it's everything moving quickly now. But that was a message that we're here. Remember that. Because I remember when I was learning channeling, I remember being two beings. It was like, it felt like a brother and sister, two rounded head beings with the big beady eyes. And as I remember slowly going into the channeling state when I was learning, I see them doing this inside my mind's eye. And they're looking at me. It's like, we're here, we're ready. And they're looking at me like they're looking to see if I'm paying attention, right? Like getting my attention. So that made me laugh at that time and chuckle. It's like, yeah, they're here. So get on with the show, lose our inhibitions, lose our fear. No one trusts. They're here. They've got something to share with us. And I think that's a great message right now to share is that no one trusts that they're here. We all take the time out to see and feel and put our feelers out and ask them. I'll ask them questions too, and they all want to share.
That was so cool.
And that letter A kept coming up, and I could just see that A, and then coming down the cliff top, the mountain top in this lifeboat, and down the river. And I was showing a river with you and other beings of light in that boat, just flowing down the river within this vast land of just open, like beautiful river and like greenness and forest and trees all around.
Wow. I know what the A was. I know that was a riot.
I love that. That was it.
Yeah. Especially once they said the candle analogy, because they had told me that almost exact analogy in a channeling session I did before. So I knew that was what they were. But that was very cool. That was very cool to hear about the healing thing too. That's I guess it's all kind of the same. It's one and the same essentially. So it is casting out that darkness and allowing for those higher vibration energies to enter. So that's really exciting too.
That's the energy that's gonna that's the energy of the fifth dimension. That's the higher energies in that energy there of love, like, and that's the energy, the message is like nothing else will exist, just that moving forward. Like that, if there's old dense energy, it's no, I can't even say it's not even back there. It's like I can't even, it's hard to put into words. It's not there. And I've heard that before, like it's not going to be there. And I try to understand that, and it's hard to sometimes. So now I just kind of shown that it's just not going to be there. And I was shown the higher energies vibration. And then I saw you as if you're in this golden yellow orange light, and you're reaching down to the lower energies and trying to lift them up onto this higher platform. And within an instant, you can both wish it and you can believe it, then you're together. But then if another person, they don't believe it, they're gone, they disappear. But then it's like non-existent. And but the energy moving forward is the new, it's just showing me an foreverness of this orange yellow light, and people just energetically walking forward into this orange yellow light.
That's interesting. Yeah, I still am kind of like,
this was cool. Totally, I got a lot of visions. Sometimes I channel, I get little visions, and usually the visions that come separately, the words come, whatever, but this was like a bit of everything.
Wow. That's awesome. It was so much cool information. So they said the med beds. So I think, have you ever heard of the Rife machine?
Yes. And I actually, this week, I've heard about it years ago, but I was talking about it this week with my friend Barb about the spooky 2. I'm thinking I should just get one, but she goes, Melissa, you go online and they have the vibrational frequencies on YouTube just to play. So I want to get one. What do you want to do?
Than that, I think.
What's that?
I think there's more to it than that. But because it was funny, I'd done a video. I came across an article. So I had done a video a while ago about like how food affects your vibration and how you can bless it, like you were talking about, and kind of take away the negative effects, whatever. And I had gotten the message that basically I'm not going to get sick anymore as long as I keep my vibration at a certain, level. The sickness resides at a lower vibration. So if you're above that, you don't have to worry about it. And and then I came across this article that talked about all of that, and talked about how, and this was months later that I came across this article, and it talked about where, like disease, what vibration, like they actually figured out the hertz or whatever it is. And this guy, Robert Rife, I think his name was, he was a doctor in like the 20s or 30s or something. And the CIA or FBI came and stole all of his stuff and destroyed his works, and nobody ever heard from him again. And then not too long ago, I saw somebody it was a TikTok video, and it was this guy's grandson who said that they had found his grandfather's plans and that they're planning on releasing and recreating these machines again. So I think after this message that those are probably what the med beds are. That's what they were saying about telling the people, the engineers, to build these things.
I thought it was William Rife, but
it could have been. I might have missed it up. I don't know.
It's been because I hadn't talked about it in a couple of years. I have a friend actually who has one, and I've never tried it though, but I want to. There's actually one at a place in Georgetown. I want to go try it out.
Really?
I just want to just see and experience it. But then you can buy them. They're called the Spooky 2. I'm, you know what? I keep getting mixed up. Oregon, the guy who made the Oregon machine. I keep getting those guys mixed up. Oregon. That same idea with the Rife machine is the Oregon. Okay, I'm getting them mixed up. William. Yeah, okay. William is Wilhelm. Last name Reich. It's Reich. So William Reich made the Oregon machine, which is almost like, I would describe it like the size of like a telephone booth. And you go in, and the Oregon energy and stuff is generated in this thing that the healing vibrations. And that guy was like, his stuff was stolen. He was put in jail, arrested for something, and then I don't know if he was killed in jail or whatever. So when it's one of those things that this beautiful healing technology is created. It's taken away from the public and hidden. But this all stuff I know is all going to be coming out now. That's been forecasted for a while. So you have the Reich machine and the Oregon and energy generator. That's William Reich who does the Oregon. Okay, I always get those guys mixed up. So yes, this is great stuff. So, and I remember the message now that came through with the ideas that all the engineers that are channeling this stuff, be brave and seek out other helpers to get this done. That's the thing about everybody now moving quicker and raising our vibrations is to do the work. Like even though I felt like let's connect again, let's get that meditation. Like that's like when you get that feeling, follow it, do it, and that's going to lead us forward quickly to where we want to go. Because if not, we're going to stay in 3D la la land energy.
Well, it's funny that because I had been getting sort of that feeling, and that's why I've been meeting this guy for coffee every weekend and kind of going and doing some of these other podcasts and other things. And because I do get that sense. And now, I mean, today was a huge leap forward again, because it was just kind of a lot of confirmations about things and seeing, it's nice to know that you're on the right track and on the right path, and that they, are noticing and that sort of thing, and that it's not just all in our head sometimes. And, so it's really cool to get those kind of little validations and confirmations that we're on the right path and that things are moving the way they're supposed to. And, all that stuff. So that's very, that combined with that other message, I'm just like on a super high right now.
I think staying in the light is a huge message that came through, and it's all about, to me, and even when the message of healing, it's all about like sending love. That's what it is. And it's when our monkey minds can get crazy in the thought process of, well, how this, that, and it's actually, it's in the simplest form now, when you're just generating love out in any form of healing, that is what is needed to bring forth any, the changes on our earth, to bring forth the healing we're going through now, that will raise our vibrations and bring us forward in our life, to get us out of the duality and all that stuff that it's coming up and rising so much in our world now. And it's being felt. And we're on our path there, Joe. We're on our path.
No, I'm excited. So we should start doing this like once a week or something.
I know. I think so. I'm thinking the same thing. We're going to book this once a week now.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have to let you go soon, because it's almost like 1:40.
Yeah, I got to run.
Chat with Peter at 2.
Yeah.
And
but yeah, I mean, it was awesome, and let's just stay in touch and set it up. I'm pretty flexible, like I said.
Yes, and I'm going to. Oh, Mr. Mousie's not working. I'm going to try to. This will convert, and I'll figure out. We'll get it up there.
Okay.
Yeah, I still got to get the video you gave me up there. I'll figure it. I'll get there. Maybe we'll have a techie call one day.
Yeah, right.
I'd like to put, and I know like you have a cool beginning and ending on the video. I want to figure that out. I have a little one, but I want to do something more with it. But we'll get there.
Yeah. All right.
Well, thank you, my dear. It's a blast. Awesome. Yes, yeah. And I'll go eat and then go have a chat with Peter. And I don't know how many people are going to be there, but we'll see.
Cool. Yeah, and whenever you get that up, if you could just send me the link so I can reference it, because I know there's some things I want to watch again, and just
I can send you the video as well if you want.
Oh yeah, that works too. That's even better.
Both.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, there you go. All right, thanks so much. Have a good weekend.
You're welcome. We'll talk soon.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
bye.